people on earth, it was because here in this land, we unleashed the energy and individual genius of man to a greater extent than has ever been done before. Freedom and the dignity of the individual have been more available and assured here than in any other place on earth. The price for this freedom at times has been high, but we have never been unwilling to pay that price. Those who say that we're in a time when there are no heroes, they just don't know where to look. The sloping hills of Arlington National Cemetery, with its row upon row of simple white markers bearing crosses or stars of David, they add up to only a tiny fraction of the price that has been paid for our freedom. Each one of those markers is a monument to the kind of hero I spoke of earlier. Their lives ended in places called Belleau Wood, the Argonne, Omaha Beach, Salerno, and halfway around the world on Guadalcanal, Tarawa, Pork Chop Hill, the Chosin Reservoir, and in 100 rice paddies and jungles of a place called Vietnam. Under one such marker lies a young man, Martin Treptow, who left his job in a small-town barber shop in 1917 to go to France with the famed Rainbow Division. There on the Western Front, he was killed trying to carry a message between battalions under heavy artillery fire. We're told that on his body was found a diary. On the flyleaf, under the heading, "My Pledge," he had written these words: "America must win this war. Therefore I will work, I will save, I will sacrifice, I will endure. I will fight cheerfully and do my utmost as if the issue of the whole struggle depended on me alone." We must realize that no arsenal or no weapon in the arsenals of the world is so formidable as the will and moral courage of free men and women. It is a weapon our adversaries in today's world do not have. It is a weapon that we as Americans do have. Let that be understood by those who practice terrorism and prey upon their neighbors. As for the enemies of freedom, those who are potential adversaries, they will be reminded that peace is the highest aspiration of the American people. We will negotiate for it, sacrifice for it. We will not surrender for it now or ever. We are Americans.
You need to get a handle on this stuff, because if you don't, in 6 months, the Democrat machine will fire up and they'll tell everybody that they'll solve all their problems with socialism and pixie dust. And the voters are going to say, well, the Republicans aren't doing anything. They don't care what the Republicans do. The Republic, well, you know, we voted for the Republicans and they suck. They didn't do anything. They can't get anything done. And the problem is the Republicans establishment. I do worry that part of this is they hate Trump anyway. Okay, they despise him. They've always hated him. And to them, they couldn't throw him in handcuffs, so they're going to handcuff his agenda and let him run out the clock. That's what I worry is actually happening right now. Okay.
Drums are calling like a distant thunder. Fiddles whisper tales of woe. Through the wire let the neon wonder.
through.
There's a rumble in the distance, something stirring up the ground. Coffee shops and corner stores, people talking all around. But the words they're speaking softly got a weight that pulls you down. Something's moving through the grapevine, word by word from town to town. And they lean in close to tell you what they heard somebody say. But the truth gets bent and twisted as it travels on its way. Who do you trust? When the talk gets low, who do you trust? When the whispers grow in the halls of power where the secrets flow, who do you trust? Tell me who do you trust? Backroom deals and handshake promises sliding underneath the door. Politicians playing poker with the chips are rich and poor. Every word's a calculation, every pause worth so much more. While the people keep on waiting for the truth they're hungry for. And they lean in close to tell you what they heard somebody say. But the truth gets bent and twisted as it travels on its way. Who do you trust? When the talk gets low, who do you trust? When the whispers grow in the halls of power where the secrets flow, do you trust? Tell me who do you trust? Thicker, every lie becomes the truth, and the honest voices calling sound like strangers in the booth. We're all just trying to listen to the static and the noise, but the loudest information drowns out the quieter voice. Who do you trust? When the talk gets low, who you trust? When the whispers grow in the halls of power where the secrets flow, who you trust? Tell me who do you trust? Who you trust? Do you trust? Do you trust? Do you trust? When the whispers grow.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Political Theater, everybody. Thank you guys for showing up here this evening. If you're just now tuning in, wherever you may be on one of our different streams, if you're on Substack, if you're on X, if you're on the Space, thank you guys for showing up this evening. We got a lot to talk about this night. A huge show. I'm Walter Kurt. Thank you guys for being here tonight. So, the biggest thing, the biggest news of the day, obviously, Mamdani and Trump meet. Obviously, the biggest news by far. Trump and Mamdani, this was going to be very interesting no matter how you looked at it. I was excited to hear about this. I was excited to look at this when they finally decided they were going to start talking about it. So, how did it go? Well, it was pretty obvious. Trump completely played him. It was very, very, very funny to watch. Now, people may have a different read on it, but I'll tell you what I saw. I watched Trump absolutely school him. That was hysterical. Right before he gets there, okay, so remember yesterday, keep this in mind. Yesterday, what does he do? Yesterday, he calls him communist. He calls him Kwame Mamdani. He goes after him 100 different ways. He's been calling him a communist for months. And now he gets there, and what does he do? Smiles and waves, everybody. Smile and wave, baby. How are you? How are you? Man, come on, Zorhan. How are you? You are my best friend. I have loved you forever. I've always thought you're going to be a great mayor, actually. I've always thought you're going to do such a good job. It completely disarmed him. It completely threw him off his game. And as a result of this, by the way, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but his entire base is losing their minds. They're losing their minds. If you haven't been to Blue Sky yet or looked at TikTok, go look at Lefty TikTok. They are freaking out. They don't understand what just happened because he was like, well, Trump did okay. See, the thing is, people don't know this about Trump. Unless you've talked to, you've listened to people that have been directly involved with him or whatnot. The thing about Trump is that he's very disarming. He's very good at getting people to be nice to him and friendly with him because he's actually genuinely friendly in person. That's what you don't understand. He's actually really good in person with people. That's why he's such good at making deals. That's why he's so popular with people once they've actually worked with him or seen him. He is a unique individual in that way. So what happens? Zorhan, the guy that's been saying he's going to fight against Trump, he's going to be the anti-Trump guy, he's going to be this, he comes in there and says, well, a lot of people in New York voted for Trump because of the affordability things. That's the reason that they voted for Trump. Uh-oh. Your communist mayor just said he likes something about Trump. That's why they voted for him. Uh-oh. What does that mean? Now lefty Twitter has completely lost their minds. And Trump, it doesn't matter. I mean, Trump could be nice to you one day, and then the next day he can call you, he call everybody that you've ever met horrible. It doesn't matter to him. It doesn't mean anything to him. For anything, he can just tomorrow, he can come out with a tweet and say, I think that this guy is just a useless, stupid communist, and that's just how it works. It doesn't matter for Trump. But Zorhan has spent the past months talking about how much he hates Trump, how much he's not going to do anything, and he's not going to allow Trump to steamroll this city. Well, it sounds to me like he wants to work with Trump now. That's what it sounds like to me. So, I thought it was a brilliant move by Trump. So you can have a different opinion on it if you want, but I saw a young politician get schooled by somebody that he was not prepared to meet. That's what I saw. And if you guys have a different take on it, you're welcome to tell me about it. Guys, thank you for being here this evening. This is the Political Theater. Thank you guys for showing up. This is a 9 p.m. show. It goes 9 p.m. to about 11:30. Thank you guys for being here this evening. Make sure you guys share this link out. Make sure people know that we are live. If you guys want to join the show, you can request to join the show. If you got to go to x.com, go to join the space. So you got to go to x.com, go to @WC Dispatch. The space is live. You can request to come up on the show, and you're welcome to bring any comments you want. You can argue with me. I can tell you you're stupid. Whatever you want me to do. I'm more than happy to oblige you. But you can always put a comment down below. I do read the comments. And if you guys have anything to say, you're welcome to put them down there below. And I do actually read all the comments and all the different streams as much as I possibly can. So it was very entertaining today. So I want to play a couple clips, obviously, of Mamdani and his meeting with Trump. And I think the best one to start with first is probably where Trump just completely did. Some reporter tries to get the tension up, right? So the reporter tries to bring the tension and says, well, you called him a fascist. Do you think he's a fascist? And Trump's like, nah, don't worry about it. It's all good. I mean, guys, this is a masterclass. It really is great. I mean, I don't know how else you can read this, but you're welcome to try and give me a different read on it. But I think this is pretty damn funny. So I'm going to share this clip real quick, and we're going to play this, and then I'll just watch it. I mean, it's beautiful how you played this. It's just perfect. It's very Trump. This is the only way to do this.
Are you affirming that you think President Trump is a fascist?
I've spoken about...
That's okay. You can just say yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's easier. It's easier than explaining it. I don't mind.
Are you
I mean, look at this. You just watch the body language.
I've spoken about...
I don't know what
Okay,
you and
you
then Trump
can
just
just say
completely
yes.
disarmed it.
It's easier.
It doesn't matter. They're smiling. They're laughing. He's hitting them on the arm. They're chumming it up. I mean, guys, this is hysterical. I mean, this guy has spent months convincing his base that he's like the ultra anti-Trump, and he just walked in there and was just smiles and waves, baby. Smiles and waves. Now, listen, Mamdani, and people don't understand. Mamdani actually really is a talented politician. He really is. I mean, he's not a stupid politician. He knew what he was doing. He somehow convinced the yuppie liberals that he was a yuppie liberal, and he somehow convinced the Islamists that he was an Islamist. I mean, he's everybody that anybody wants. He's a very slick politician, okay? That's just who he is. But the difference is that Trump is also a slick politician, and he just completely wrecked him with, 1 hour in a 1 hour friendly interview. This was supposed to be tense. Tense. Mamdani was supposed to show up there and be the ultimate fighter against Trump, and that did not happen. That did not happen at all. It's going to be very interesting. I'm very curious to see what Mamdani does when he takes over. And Trump even said so. He said, I think he's going to do a great job. Now, Trump is doing that intentionally just so he has the ability to say, I didn't hinder his performance, and then he failed anyway. That's what Trump's argument is there. So he can say, well, look, I think he's going to do a great job. And when he fails miserably, he can be like, well, he is a communist. So, oh, well, I guess communists don't do very well in New York. I guess that's not going to be great for the city. But, it's possible, though, that Mamdani is just, like I said, he's just he's intentionally just a political, he just waves with the political wind. It doesn't really matter to him. So now that he's elected, he might change all sorts of stuff. We don't have any idea. For all we know, that he may just rule completely. He may his tenure may be completely different from what he campaigned on. Who knows? But we won't know that until a couple months into it. My guess is that he fails on everything and that he's an idiot. And then I'm just going to get T-shirts and sell them and say, how fast and free were the buses? That's the only thing I'm going to do. That's my intention. The fast and free buses, it's my favorite campaign slogan I've ever seen. I just want fast and free buses, and I can't wait to see how stupid that is. It's just going to be brilliant. But anyway, so this was just great watching Trump school him today. It was just very funny. The entire attitude, throughout this thing was, the entire attitude throughout this thing was just, I don't think Mamdani had any idea what he was doing. Like, he had any idea this was going to happen. I thought he thought that this was going to be a very aggressive interview, that this was going to be a very aggressive day sitting with Trump, and it was not. Trump, I don't even think Trump really pressed him on anything super hard. He just, he feels to me like this was just a play by Trump. He made sure that he managed to get him there. He made sure to insult him before he got there. And then when he showed up, he's like, hey, buddy, you're going to do a great job. You're going to do great. I know it. I believe in you. Young man, you're going to do fantastic things. Just, oh, man. Lefty Twitter, though, lefty TikTok is melting down on this. I need to pull some clips from it because it's so funny. I was just scrolling through it earlier, and Blue Sky's not happy either. So the leftist base is very angry at Mamdani for doing this and very nice things with Trump. So you got to love it. It's just very upsetting to them. Okay, what's up? Santron. I didn't even realize that was you, Jack Tron. I didn't realize you changed your name. That just completely threw me off. I thought that was a completely new person on the stage. So what's up, Jack Tron?
From starting from now until January 1st, it's Santron. But this was a very interesting meeting. It actually was not the banger that I was expecting. The big banger, I think you would say, was when Jack Posobiec decided to start questioning the Zorhan while he was there. If we want to pull that clip up.
Yeah, that's definitely worth playing because he did question him there. I think I have that clip as well. Give me a second. I'll pull it up. Because, yeah, that was obviously – and here's the other part about this is you could see Trump's face. Trump was very – he was laughing hysterically at this. He was losing it. Where is this thing? Let's see here. I have it in here somewhere. Maybe I don't. I thought I had the clip. Well, anyway, so at some point in this clip, so Jack Posobiec specifically, what he does is he asks, if you have it, Jack Tron, send it to me real quick. Jack Posobiec asks him specifically, are you going to tax white neighborhoods? Because that's what you said. And the better part about this is not even really
in there. It should be under Posobiec.
Oh, really? Is it? Okay, it's in there. Okay, hold on a second here. Zorhan 6. There's 6 Zorhan ones, dude. So you got to tell me which one it would be.
I thought I labeled it. No, wait. I think it might have been either 7 or 8.
Okay, so let me check and look here. 7 or 8. Nope, not that one. Yeah, here it is. He's got it. Okay, so this is it. Number 8. I found it here. So this is Posobiec going after him, and this is talking about at some point in the middle of the campaign, Zorhan, and if you guys didn't remember seeing it, The Price is White is what the name of there was a New York Post article or a headline, their cover photo that they put out. That's what he was talking about because they were talking about taxing white neighborhoods to pay for his policies, and this is what Posobiec presses him on today. Now, the better part about this clip, though, and if you guys are just listening, you're not going to be able to tell this, but if you're watching it, if you're on the streams here, you can see this. Pay attention to Trump's face. Because Trump loves every second of this. It's just great. It's just beautiful.
The campaign was shifting the tax burden for property taxes from what he called minority communities to white-based communities and putting more taxes on white people. I also noticed that in your acceptance speech you didn't mention anything about America or Christians or white people in general. And so I didn't know if that was one of the policies that you guys had spoken about.
We focused on affordability. We focused on the cost of living crisis Justice, what I will say is that I am very much interested in property tax reform, because what we see right now in New York City is a system that is so inequitable that it can't even stand up in court. And the President and I spoke about the importance of not only building more housing, but also making sure that regulation of housing is something that is manageable to actually get through and not the cause of yet another weight that we see in our
But to be
city.
clear, you're continuing this idea of race-based property taxes.
No, to be very clear,
That's what you said.
no, the use of the term was a description of neighborhoods, not a description of intent.
So you intend to tax the whiter neighborhoods more?
No, we intend to create a fair property tax system because we want a New York City that is not only fair and equitable, but also one that every New Yorker can afford.
If you guys are just listening, you couldn't see Trump's face. Trump's face this whole time, the moment Posobiec starts going after him, Trump's just sitting there like, get him, get him, get him. It's so funny, dude. It's so funny. I just love the face. And, you know, a bunch of people are pointing this out, and it is true. Trump was in control this whole time. He didn't even offer him a chair, okay? He had him stand the whole time, stand next to him like a little kid. Like, it's just, I mean, it's great. I love it, man. I really do enjoy this. This stuff is great to me. I love watching Trump do this. The little tiny power plays is where you really see this stuff. It really is just super entertaining. But watching Trump's face as Posobiec starts asking him, and he's just smirking, staring at him, like, go after him. Yes. More of this. I mean, it's just fantastic. All of this stuff, very, very funny. Posobiec, by the way, someone else pointed this out. I think it was Brick Suit. I don't know if you guys follow Brick Suit. Is one of the accounts on X on here. He's a pretty well-known account. He pointed out that apparently Posobiec was in like Los Angeles, California last night at 9 p.m. And this is this morning in the White House. So, this apparently somehow he just, flew directly back across the country and was at this, within the same day. I thought that was pretty interesting. So, he was at, Brick Suit's comment was, what did you just parachute from, the C-130 directly into the White House? Is that how that worked for Posobiec? But I thought that was pretty funny. So anyway, let's see here. I've got a couple requests here. So what's up? Internet Dollar is coming up here. And then we do want to talk about another big breaking story that just came out this evening. We do need to cover this because apparently Marjorie Taylor Greene is resigning from Congress. For those who didn't see this, apparently this just came out. I mean, this is like less than an hour ago. She just decided that she was announcing that on January 6th, she is now leaving.
January 6th, 2026.
Yeah, January 6th, 2026, she is leaving Congress. Now, I will tell you, I did not see that coming. Okay, I didn't predict that. I thought she was going to do some sort of power play. I thought she was going to sit around and she was going to screw around for the next 2 years or during the rest of her time that she was in there. But resigning immediately is very interesting. Now, it's not, people saying that she's resigning in disgrace. I don't think that's true. Okay, disgrace is not the same thing. She's doing this intentionally. You don't just randomly resign from Congress. Okay, like she could have just waited until she and just not ran again and sat out the rest of the time. But she didn't do that. Okay, so she's not running at all and she's resigning, which means her seat will be vacant, which means somebody else will have to take the seat. Why is she doing that so far in advance? The only thing she's doing, the only thing that makes sense to me is that she has to be moving forward with a 2028 plan. That's got to be it. That has to be the only thing. She has to be moving forward with the 2028 plan. She's going to try and run for president. And I'll tell you right now, not a wise move on her side. Not like, I don't think does anyone really think Marjorie Taylor Greene's going to do well in a primary, like a Republican primary?
Smoked.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. Like, I mean, just Marjorie Taylor, like I said before, I don't necessarily dislike this woman. I just don't generally care about her. She's a minor congresswoman from Georgia. She's not somebody that I've thought was super, super interesting. I've always thought she was one of those people that just glommed onto the MAGA movement and, decided to say MAGA every single day for the past 4 years and used it as to boost her popularity. And now that it's not super working out for her, she's now walked away from it. And, I'm not surprised. It's just like every other politician I've ever met. There's nothing different about it. So I'm not sure what her intention is, but I did think this is pretty interesting. So I'll play a little bit of this. She's got some long 10-minute thing. No one's going to watch the whole thing, but I'll play a little bit of it just so we understand what's happening here. So this is Marjorie Taylor Greene earlier. She is resigning from Congress essentially effective immediately.
Hi, everyone. I've always represented the common American man and woman as a member of the House of Representatives, which is why I've always been despised in Washington, D.C., and just never fit in. Americans are used by the political industrial complex of both political parties, election cycle after election cycle, in order to elect whichever side can convince Americans to hate the other side more. And the results are always the same. No matter which way the political pendulum swings, Republican or Democrat, nothing ever gets better for the common American man or woman. The debt goes higher, corporate and global interests remain Washington's sweethearts, American jobs continue to be replaced, whether it's by illegal labor or legal labor by visas or just shipped overseas. Small businesses continue to be swallowed by big corporations. Americans' hard-earned tax dollars always fund foreign wars, foreign aid, and foreign interest, and the spending power of the dollar continues to decline. The average American family can no longer survive on a single breadwinner's income, as both parents have to work in order to simply survive. And today, many in my children's generation feel hopeless for their future and don't think they will ever realize the American dream. And that breaks my heart. I ran for Congress in 2020 and have fought every single day believing that Make America Great Again meant America first. I have one of the most conservative voting records in Congress, defending the First Amendment, Second Amendment, unborn babies because I believe God creates life at conception, and I love to fight for the little guy. Strong, safe borders, I have fought hard for that. I've fought against COVID tyrannical insanity and mandated mass vaccinations, and I've never voted to fund foreign wars with your hard-earned tax dollars. However, with almost 1 year into our majority, the legislature has been mostly sidelined. We endured an 8-week shutdown, wrongly, resulting in the House not working for the entire time, and we are entering campaign season, which means all courage leaves and only safe campaign re-election mode is turned on in the House of Representatives. During the longest shutdown in our nation's history, I raged against my own speaker and my own party for refusing to proactively work diligently to pass a plan to save Americans' health care and protect Americans from outrageous, overpriced, and unaffordable health insurance policies. The House should have been in session working every day to fix this disaster. But instead, America was force-fed disgusting political drama once again from both sides of the aisle on television every single day. My bills, which reflect many of President Trump's executive orders, like calling for a new census counting Americans only to draw new districts, making English the official language of the U.S., making it a felony to medically trans a...
Okay, so I'm not going to play the rest of this because, I mean, to be honest with you, it just kind of reads and sounds like a political announcement. It's not like a real resignation letter. She's giving her policy pitch. I mean, that's what that is. That was a policy pitch. That's all the things that she thinks she stands for. Now, there's a couple options of what this could mean. She could be trying to run for governor in Georgia. Here's one thing I will say. I would support her over Brian Kemp because I think Kemp is terrible. I think Kemp is like one of the worst Republican governors in the country, like by a wide margin. So I would actually like Marjorie Taylor Greene over Kemp, but she won't win because she's now turned against Trump and she's done that anyway. So that's not going to happen. But the deal is that I don't think anybody, like she's kind of sank her own political career in her own district. I mean, Trump got more votes in her district than she did, just so you guys are aware, okay? Trump won 75%. I think she won 63% of the vote in that district. So Trump actually outvoted her in her own district. And by the way, I went and did the demographic breakdown on that. I mean, the demographic breakdown is almost they're all going to be remaining Trump voters. They're not going to switch. Okay, it's not like it's like a highly liberal area at all. Okay, so it's going to be a Trump area. And I don't know what her intention is here, but leaving Congress a year in advance and acting as if she's, fought for the young American, done this. Like, it's just nonsense. And there's a bunch of people commenting saying exactly what I was going to say, which is that, she's worth millions of dollars now. Congratulations. You made lots of money while you were in Congress, Marjorie. You're acting as if you're fighting against the special interest. Well, why did you make so much money in stock market while you were in Congress? You made a ton of money in stocks. I mean, I think I don't know if this number's correct, but a couple people are saying that she made $24 million and she was worth $700,000. I've looked at this before. I don't know the exact numbers, but I do know that you can go to Unusual Whales on X, go to @UnusualWhales, and he has a stock market tracker, okay? So they do it's a political stock tracker, essentially. And I know Marjorie Taylor Greene's always up there on the top of that. So she's always been making money in Congress. She's been making all kinds of money in Congress for years. And now she wants to come out here and act as if she's some sort of special, I've been fighting for you. I haven't ever done anything that's above, like I'm always above board. Like, no, you're not. You're just like every other politician, Marjorie. That's what drives me crazy about this. She's not anything different. She's blowing with the wind, just like every other politician that's ever existed. Okay, she's not doing anything new, nothing special. She thinks now that Trump's not in there anymore, so Trump's done. He can only have this term. This is it for Trump. What happens after Trump? You got to move on from Trump, so she's got to come to the next thing, and she's putting her chips in line so she can oppose Trump and be part of this new, America First style movement. Because to be honest with you guys, the America First crew, which is the Nick Fuentes big group. This is like, people are ignoring it, but it's not a very intelligent idea to ignore it. Okay, if this movement may gain some traction. Okay, now whether or not it moves into the Republican Party or takes over part of the Democrat Party, who knows what that does? But she's thinking that this is going to plan out. I don't think it's going to work because you can't win a primary with it. That's the problem. Like you may be able to do some sort of impact somewhere, but you have to win a statewide primary for that to really be effective. And you're going to try and convince me, where are you going to get the primary votes? Okay. That's the problem I have with the whole idea. You're not going to convince the people in the primary that you're going to be able to do that. I think you're probably going to get 3 or 4% of the vote. Okay. Now, if you start a third party or you do some sort of, hybrid thing and you try to run that, then you could spoil the vote for the Republican, because you could try and pull 5 or 6 nationally. 5 or 6 votes, 5 or 6% nationally, and that would guarantee the Democrats would win. And that might be the intention. That way they can try and shoehorn their own people in there. That's another political strategy. If you intentionally say, okay, you're not going to play ball with us, okay, then we'll create our own thing and we're going to run against you and we're going to make sure we pull a few percentage of the vote so it makes it more difficult for you to win. This is one of the reasons I don't like the Libertarian Party. The Libertarian Party does the same sort of thing. Okay, the Libertarian Party doesn't have any interest in being a serious party. If they wanted to be a serious party, they would do. The only way you can be a third party in this country, by the way, is you should. And the Libertarian Party actually had the opportunity to do so. If you have a third party with a national fundraising apparatus, what you should do is flip a couple Senate seats and flip a few seats in the House, and then hold that and use that as your political wedge. I mean, if you took 4 Senate seats, say you did that, okay, you took 4 Senate seats and you took 5 or 6 House seats, then a political third party would be a power broker in Congress. You'd be the swing vote. I mean, that's what you would have to fight with. You'd have to argue with them to be able to get any legislation through, and that would be an effective third party. But no one's ever done that. No party's ever attempted it. No one's ever even gone forward with it. The only thing the Libertarian Party does is every 4 years they run somebody that no one's ever heard of, that no one even cares about, and then they beg desperately to try and get on the ballot in all 50 states, which never works. They always get like 47, and they're like proud of that. Like, woo, good job, guys. No one cares. But anyway, so I'm very curious to see what Marjorie does here. If she tries to run for governor, I don't know how that'll work out for her either. I'm not really sure. It depends what Georgia and how Georgia starts swinging. There's some people that are saying that they think that Georgia may actually flip to having a Democrat governor. I haven't really looked at the data to be able to pull that together to be able to tell you guys a real take on that. I'm not sure. I wouldn't be able to give you a real honest opinion on that yet because I don't have enough information on Georgia right now. But what Marjorie is doing now, I mean, this is interesting because I assume that'll mean that it'll be a special election in her seat for the remaining year. I don't think that they can just appoint somebody, or maybe Kemp can. I'm not sure for a House seat. I thought they had to have a special election. So we'll have to see. It should be interesting. So we'll see what happens. But Marjorie leaving Congress January 6th. So okay, there we go. She's out, which is very interesting. This has been a very strange few months for Marjorie Taylor Greene. Opinions vary. Welcome to the stage. Thank you for being here, buddy. What's up?
Yeah, Walter, how are you? That's got to be a special election, and Kemp has to, I think, do a writ or whatever he has to do, and then it's the jungle vote that they have in Georgia, with somebody having to get 50%, or else then it's the top 2 that go to a runoff. So hopefully, it's going to take 3 to 6 months minimum to get somebody into that seat.
Well, I mean, it's going to be, it's a strange thing to do, though, on her part. I mean, I thought that she was going to try and play against Trump while she was in Congress, but maybe her idea is that Congress isn't going to do anything anyway, which might be true, to be honest with you. So, I mean, that's also a possibility here. So it's very possible that Congress doesn't manage to do anything anyway, and that's why she just manages to get away with it. I don't know. To me, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens here. I think this is a very strange play on her part, so I'm very curious to see how it plays out. Okay, go ahead.
There could be something about her financial statement, Walter, that she doesn't have to disclose it for 2025.
Oh, that's interesting. That's an interesting idea.
Her annual statement. I thought Stockmom posted has a post on it. That's the only reason I know. Obviously, that's not my lane. Oh, she didn't put it out yet. Okay, she's going to put it out. But that could be a reason why this is going on.
And that actually, I hadn't even thought about that. That kind of makes sense. That would make sense that she's going to try and do that. Just use it to her advantage there. We'll see. Like I said, I mean, this is a very weird thing to do. I mean, I don't care how you look at it. It's a strange move by her. So we'll have to see how it plays out. Regardless, I don't really care what she does. I don't think she's going to matter that much, to be honest with you guys. This is another person that I'm looking at. I'm saying, you're a politician. You're going to try and blow with the wind and see where the wind takes you. And I don't think it's going to take you anywhere near the halls of power ever again if you leave Congress. So we'll see. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I doubt it. I doubt it highly. I mean, I don't think that you can build your entire career, your entire position in Congress based on the president and then turn on him and then immediately attack him and start going on all of the shows that he don't like and then resign from Congress, reducing our majority. I mean, listen. I don't think this works out for her in any way at all. We'll see though. Maybe I'm wrong.
And she also, I don't know if you said this already, Walter. If you caught her in our statement, she said, and the Republicans will probably lose the midterms. That's nice. Thanks.
Well, I mean, that's the deal. This is what I'm talking about. This is the positioning against Trump, because there's people that are going to start looking outside of Trump. Like they're going to start looking outside of Trump because they think that Trump's not going to be able to, he's not going to be able to hold the coalition together. He's not going to be able to do anything. And my point in this the whole time is that you can think that, but it's too early to think that. I mean, that's the real problem here. You can believe that, and it might be true. Maybe it's true. Maybe Trump won't be able to hold his coalition together. Maybe he won't be able to. But the problem is you're doing this so far in advance that I don't see, you guys, we're a political lifetime away. A lifetime away from the midterms. A whole lifetime. All sorts of things could happen. Trump's economy could take off. It could do well. And maybe it will pull back. Maybe it won't do well. But what if it does take off? What if Trump manages to start arresting a bunch of people from Act Blue stuff and subpoenas? Listen, yesterday, the opening of the show yesterday, I was talking about what I think the reason that Trump's, base is so loyal to him. I was explaining that, and that's what I opened the show with yesterday. Why Trump's base is so loyal, because they see somebody that's actually willing to fight for them. And I'll tell you, people aren't really necessarily mad about Trump. They're mad that the agenda isn't being pushed forward. They're mad that there isn't accountability that's happened yet. If you start providing accountability for things, guys, things might change drastically. If you start arresting people on a regular basis, you start bringing investigations forward that are serious, that have teeth, if you get Pam Bondi out of the way, I mean, guys, things can change rather quickly. So, like everyone wants to act as if it's all over, but I don't, you're selling the ship way too soon, guys. I mean, it's not that true. Okay, go ahead.
All right. So I also saw today on that note, it looks like there's going to be more charges brought against John Bolton.
Oh, the mustache. And the mustache of power. The mustache of power.
I sent you that clip. I sent you that clip.
Which clip?
Mustache.
Of the mustache. Listen, I've played the mustache many times before. We can play it again maybe in a little bit here, but that is very interesting that there's going to be more charges against the mustache. Now, I did remind people the other day that, fortunately, we were fortunate enough that we actually, even though we lost one walrus mustache, we were replaced with one. So we have another walrus that will be existing in politics for many years. Graham Plattner up there in Maine, he's going to be around it for at least another year and a half. If he might lose to Susan Collins. He might not. He might win. And if he does win, then we will have a mustache in Congress, in the Senate, for another 20 years, people. So don't you worry. The walrus will remain. We will still have one. He looks exactly like one. In fact, I think, Plattner looks even more like a walrus somehow. Like it's something to do with the way that his mouth moves. It reminds me of one. So, again, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Bolton. We'll see. But again, my point is, here is that the accountability, if Trump starts bringing out the accountability, I'm telling you, I think his approval rating will probably go back up, especially amongst his base. The base is getting annoyed because things aren't happening as fast as they want them to. And I agree. And I told everybody at the beginning of this term, if things aren't really moving forward within a year, then I'm going to start being pissed and throwing things at the wall. And guys, we're almost at a year here and things aren't really moving forward. Okay, I mean, we've got a couple indictments. We got a couple small things. We got Bolton. We got Comey. We got some things are happening. But there's also just, the amount of people that need to be held to account you need to do something, okay? You got to get people actually charged. You got to get things actually moving forward. And these people that got away with this stuff, I mean, the guys that, that opened the counterintelligence operation on Trump, okay? Why aren't they in prison? Why? Why are they not in prison? I don't care what you have to charge them with. Arrest them. I mean, it's crazy to me. It's crazy. I mean, everyone, we know what they did, and we know their names, and they're not in jail yet. That's the problem. That's the problem. And I understand maybe judges want to make it difficult, and judges will do this, and judges will do that. That doesn't matter to me. Okay, like it doesn't matter. If you want to fight that and you want to make that argument, that's fine. That's fine. But just make the process the punishment, just like they did to Trump. Okay, just like they did to Trump. Throw them in court. Make them appeal everything. Make them fight it with thousands of lawyers. Make them do it. Just do it. Just do it. And then that's the same argument for the impeachment of judges. If the judges, you don't think you'll get the votes, irrelevant if you can get the votes. Impeach them anyway. Make sure their names are plastered all over the place. Impeach them. You just have to do it. You have to make some sort of motion. You have to make people realize that you are fighting. And it doesn't seem to mean that people think that we're fighting. And I think that's part of the problem. So we'll see if they manage to change it up. But again, thinking that this is all going to be over within this year and just because we're moving into 2026, that we're going to be careful and cautious. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think this is going to be, you still have plenty of opportunity for things to change around the opposite direction. Now, the one thing I will say is that on the economy, they really need to stop the messaging that they're doing about everything's great and everything's amazing and everything's going to be just fine. Just stop doing that, okay? Go back to being honest. Because if everyone remembers, at the beginning of this term, what did people say? People said at the very beginning of this term, even Elon Musk himself said it. He said, we may have to go through some hardship first. And people were ready for that. That's what they said. At the beginning of the term, they said specifically, we may have to go through a bit of a pullback. We may have to really, it's tough. We're going to have to fix things. It's going to be difficult for a little while. And people at the beginning of this term were ready for that kind of concept. Okay? And instead, what has happened is they've gone into this mode where they're just like, everything's great. No, it's not. Okay? No, everything's not great. Okay? It's the inflation numbers. And here's the problem. You can't fix the inflation stuff overnight. You can't. The inflation is not going away. Once the prices have been raised, you can't deflate the economy. I mean, it's not necessarily a good thing to have a deflationary economy. You don't want that. That's not good for the economy either. But the problem is that everybody still has the problem with the prices. The prices are still too high. Now, they can fix some of this stuff, and they can bring energy prices down. They can bring some of the gas prices down. They can do all of that. But you can't keep telling everybody that everything's fantastic and everything's going just fine. It's not going to sell. Okay, because people are going to think you're doing the same sort of thing that Joe Biden was doing, which is gaslight everybody saying everything's just fine. And Bidenomics was one of the stupidest things they ever said. Okay, Bidenomics was a disaster. Claiming that everything was great as inflation numbers were going through the roof and people were paying $600 a month for 3 people to have groceries for the month. Nothing was fine. Okay, now I'm not saying that it's all Trump's fault, but you got to say something. That you can't keep gaslighting people. Tell people where we're at. Tell people what's going on. Tell people that it is difficult and we may have to be careful about this. And, it may be a little bit of a struggle. You should have kept that messaging rather than continuously trying to push this idea that everything's great. We're going into the golden age tomorrow and we're the hottest country in the world. I don't think that's selling. Okay. People aren't buying that message. And even if they are buying, even if is billions of dollars coming in, people don't see it yet. You can't sell it before people feel it and see it. That's the big deal. You can't do that yet. And what you should be doing, and there's an easy way for them to do this, okay? And I brought it up yesterday in my monologue that I opened with yesterday. A lot of people don't know that in Trump's first term, he did bring manufacturing back to the Midwest. There was a lot of manufacturing that showed up out here, but you know what happened to those jobs? They staffed them with freaking Haitians, okay? They staffed them with all sorts of immigrants from other countries and asylum seekers, and they took those jobs that should have been going to Americans, and they gave them to asylum seekers that came into this country, and they paid them a fraction of what they were doing, and they gave them government assistance and houses and everything else. So people are pissed, okay? Just remind them of that and say we're going to get those people out. We're going to get all of those temporary protective programs out, which they are moving on, by the way. Trump just a minute ago, I don't know if you guys saw this, he just removed the temporary protective status of Somali immigrants. Now, that should have been done a long time ago. I don't understand why that wasn't done the first second that we got into office, okay? Now, I know the Haitian immigrants, they have been trying to fight that, and I believe that in January 12th is when that is going to be expiring, because they've now fought it in court multiple different times, and I think that's the final exit for that is in the middle of January. The temporary protective status of the Haitian immigrants is going to be gone. Now, again, it's not all roses, guys, but you need to start telling people that. and just make sure that messaging is landing. Because if you just keep trying to tell everyone that everything's fine, people don't think so. Okay, like the general sentiment around the country is not everything's going to be fine. Now, again, my point is that I don't think Trump is the one that is really going to be taking a lot of this heat. If he changes his messaging on it, he can get back on top of it, because his approval rating is going down right now. Whether you like it or not, his approval rating is going down. Now, I don't think his base is going to be shaken by that. But the problem is you can't win elections with just the base. Okay, you got to get the coalition involved. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, so we'll move on here, guys. We've got somebody that's requesting to come up here. Let's see here. Who is this? Hard Trigger. If you guys would like to join the show, if you got something to say, you can always join on x.com. If you're listening on the other streams, I appreciate you guys for being here. Everybody who's listening on Substack, there's lots of people that listen on Substack and on YouTube, on Rumble, wherever you guys may be tuning in. Thank you guys for being here this evening. Make sure you guys share the link out. Make sure people know that we are live. This is the Political Theater, weeknights at 9 p.m. We were talking about how Mamdani got played by Trump in the White House, and lefty Twitter and lefty TikTok is losing their minds about it. That's how we opened the show this evening. Now we're just moving on. We went through Marjorie Taylor Greene here, how she is resigning from Congress, and just talking about the general broad spectrum of what's going to happen over the next year. I still think there's plenty of time to course correct. The one thing I do want to say is that we really should be focusing more on the immediate goals. Immediate goals would be the Virginia redistricting, and I don't think enough people are talking about that, because that's in April. I mean, that's something we should be mobilizing for now. John Reed, which was the lieutenant governor candidate for the Republican side in Virginia, that got essentially no institutional support whatsoever. He's going to be joining me sometime in the next couple of weeks. He's going to come on the show, and we're going to talk about this and see if he's trying to rally people. He's trying to rally people under a new banner, trying to get that referendum defeated. That's a good goal. I mean, these are the things we need to be focused on. We need to be focused on the next mission, the next thing we need to get done. So we'll see what happens over the next, next 6 months. I really hope we start to see a shift in messaging, because we need it. We definitely need it. Okay, Hard Trigger, you came up here. What's up? No? Guess not. All right, so let's move on to another topic then. Jacktron, what was the other things you had in here? Something else specific here that you wanted to go over?
Well, I think Scott Turner was on Benny Johnson's show today talking about housing prices, and I know that Ben Carson just joined America First Policy Institute for a program they're calling Make Housing Great Again. That's one thing.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's definitely interesting. And there was also this stuff in here about Obamacare. Burchett was talking about Obamacare. I thought that was pretty interesting, and so was Jeffries talking about Obamacare. There's also a little bit more on the. I think this first cut that I have here was the sedition and treason comments, and people are talking about this. I do have a little bit more comment to have on that. Hard Trigger actually did come up here. That when you went away. What's up?
There's a retired Army major, former Democrat state senator and current Democrat member for Congress in North Carolina is urging all military members to refuse and defy orders from Trump, Hegseth, and other leaders. His name is Richard Ojeda.
Oh, that's nice.
I have that clip in there as well.
Yeah, I think I saw that one. Is that the Defy? Is that the name of that one?
Yeah, the name is Defy.
Yeah, let me play this one real quick. Let me see what this is about, because I saw this clip in here, but I didn't play it all the way through. So let's hear what this guy has to say. I'm not really surprised that there's more people coming out and doing this. And by the way, I think this is possible that the reason that this is all happening right now is that it may be possible that there's going to be something that moves forward in Venezuela. Now, I know that Trump approved CIA operations in Venezuela. So this might be why all this is happening now. They're going to try and use this as some sort of play. I think it's a stupid idea to try and convince people to not follow the president's orders, especially if we're going to start, hitting other countries or something like that. Like, you're crazy. And I think, again, sedition and conspiracy is part of this. So let's see what this guy has to say here.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here. And as a former leader who spent 24 years in service to this country, I think it's important to remind everyone that we teach our soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, Space Guardians, Coast Guardsmen, and members of our National Guard that if they are ever given an order that is unlawful, illegal, or immoral, it is their duty to refuse those orders. This isn't rocket science. We have a wannabe dictator in office that thinks that anyone who doesn't agree with his cruel and evil ways should somehow be prosecuted or sentenced to death. This is what happens when we elevate a criminal to the highest office in the land. Donald Trump is literally calling for the executions of elected officials because they are reminding our military that they have a choice to oppose cruelty. Our country deserves better than a wannabe dictator. Remember your oaths. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.
Oh my God. Jetta.
Shut up.
Yeah, seriously, dude. Shut up. I mean, these people, this is the stuff that I'm talking about. This is a huge problem when you're because they're obviously that guy's more brazen than the others. The others were like, oh, just don't. No, he called him a wannabe dictator, and he essentially called him a criminal. So that's why he's saying that. He's saying you're a criminal. Trump's a criminal. So that by being a criminal, you shouldn't listen to any of his orders because you can't listen to a criminal because that's criminal orders. That's what that guy just said. So that's even more ridiculous than the previous video that we saw that came out of Slotkin, which, of course, the whole Slotkin video, they immediately all started crying about it. Like, oh my God, he called for our deaths. It's like, no, it'd be a lot cooler if he did, though. Like, I mean, he didn't actually say that, but, this is so ridiculous to me that they're out here screaming about this. Because here's the other thing. I'm going to play this clip, and then I want to talk about this for a second here because I want to remind people of something that they seem to have forgotten about. So let me go ahead and play this clip here. This is them again talking about the Trump statements on seditious behavior.
Very same thing that a few months ago Republicans were saying Democrats were doing, except that now the president's doing it and it's okay.
I go back to the video. Like, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now if it wasn't for a ridiculous video that was put out by Democrats telling people in uniform to defy the President of the United States of America.
But that's not what they said.
That's a fact.
What they said.
I was real quiet for a long time. That was like a long time for me. So let me say point two here.
We just laid out that the video says you should not follow illegal orders. Do you think that members of the military should follow illegal orders?
I think it's pretty clear that this was an obvious video that was put out without any issue around it, saying if you don't like what the president's doing,
that's literally
you don't
not
have
what
to.
It's literally
They're so disingenuous. Like, this is what bothers me about it. They're so disingenuous. Like, oh, they didn't say that. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Like, you did say it. Stop. This drives me crazy here recently. This is happening all over the place. It's not just on this issue. There's a bunch of people that they make obvious insinuations in what they say. Obvious. Everybody knows what they meant when they said it. And then they're like, I didn't say that. No, I didn't mean that. What are you talking about? Shut up. No, I didn't say that at all. That's completely different from what I said. What do you? Everybody knows what you meant. Okay, you just stop pretending as if people don't know what you mean when you say things. Everyone does. Everyone does. It's so stupid. But this is everywhere. I mean, this happens on the left and the right now. People are like, oh no, that's not what that meant. Like, what? It's very obnoxious to listen to these people do this. But my thing about it is, and I wanted to bring this up. I forgot to bring it up yesterday. All day yesterday, what did the left say? The Democrats were saying, they're saying, oh my goodness, Trump is calling for the deaths of Republican or of Democrat congressmen. And he's saying that they should be sentenced to hangings. Oh my goodness, this is the most violent, evil political rhetoric. I forgot. Wasn't it just like, I don't know, a month ago that you guys ran a guy for attorney general in Virginia that called for the deaths of his political opponents with 2 bullets to the head and then one of their children to die in their mother's arms? Didn't you just do that? What happened to that? We're worried about violent rhetoric now? We're worried about it now? You guys just elected that guy. You just put him in office. What are we talking about violent rhetoric for? I mean, you people just elected a guy that said the children should die in their mother's arms because the only way people move on policy is through pain, personal pain. And we're supposed to be worried? Like, your victim card is so absurd. I know it's the only play they ever have, is that anything they ever do, they have to be the victim somehow. But come on. Like, our political memory isn't that short. Okay, it's not that short. I mean, it's, a couple years, you can kind of play things off and maybe it didn't work, but that was last month. Like, it just happened. So, I mean, what are we talking about? It's so disingenuous. That's my problem with it. It's so obviously disingenuous. And it's so stupid. Yes, we remember that you just did that. And now you're all out here oh my Lord. Oh, be quiet. Hakeem Jeffries didn't even withdraw his endorsement of that guy. He didn't even withdraw his endorsement. Not at all. Amazing stuff, man. Amazing. Go ahead, opinions.
Yeah, you know what else with this sedition and the legal orders? Don't you know that, the people up top, they know what an illegal legal order would be, right? So I doubt that, Raising Cane is going to be giving illegal orders to the military to go and do this. Whole thing is so absurd. Like, it's all the private's he's gonna save the country, Walter. The private who's getting the illegal order is gonna go to his commander and say, "Hey, this is an illegal order. Stop it right now. This is absurd." And that's what you're saying. We know what you people are saying. You're saying don't obey orders that you don't like.
That's right.
It doesn't work that way. But if you want to go ahead and run to your commanding officer and say, "This is an illegal order," good luck with the rest of your military career. I would advise against it.
I mean, it's crazy to me that we're trying to pretend as if it's again what I said before. We didn't say that. Yes, you did. Yeah, like what do you? It's so disingenuous. It's so disingenuous. It's so annoying. Like everybody knows what you said. Stop pretending that you didn't say it. You said it. Okay, like you came out here with this video, and you obviously knew what the reaction would be. And here's the one thing that. I knew that it was going to be a play. Okay, like you could see what they did. They intentionally set it up. They knew that Trump would be pissed about it, and then they immediately played on it the second that Trump responded to it, the way that you should respond to it, which is what are you doing? Like I'm in the middle of doing all sorts of stuff on with the military, in the middle of a bunch of really high intense and political negotiations, and you people are coming out here telling people that you should just disobey illegal orders because obviously the insinuation is that all of my orders are illegal. It is an obvious play. And then the next thing is that, oh, look, Trump's attacking us. He's an authoritarian. At some point, what are these people going to do? You know what? This is what is very funny about this to me is like, what do you think? What are these people going to do when the next iteration comes along? Like, say Trump fails, okay? Say Trump doesn't manage to get anything done. Okay, say Trump fails on all of his policies. The machine stops him in his tracks. This is one of my thing I was talking about yesterday. The anger that exists in the country, Trump didn't create it. The anger created Trump. So if you ignore these people, ignore all of the problems that are really causing a lot of the outrage in the country. If you ignore them, the next iteration is going to be far, far more radical, and you're not going to like it. Like that's what people seem to fail to understand. You're not going to get rid of it just by wishing it away or by stopping Trump. What the people want in this country, they want things fixed. And if you don't fix them and you try to hamstring him again, it's not going to work out. So whatever the next iteration will be, far worse. So it's very interesting to watch because they don't understand it at all. They can't grasp it. They think that it's not really that serious. Oh, it's pretty serious. Okay, if you don't solve some of the problems in the country, you have a large percentage of the country that is not happy with anybody in D.C. Okay, it's not a good thing. So, I don't know what their play is here, what their intention is, but continuously telling us that we're not seeing what you're doing, obviously what you're doing, and then telling us, oh, no, I didn't do that. Oh, God, come on. Like, come on. No one buys it. No one believes you. Okay? I love the Democrats pretending is just because Trump's approval rating is going down that means that they're somehow popular. They're not. Okay? Their approval rating isn't going up. By the way, there was a morning consult poll that came out that showed J.D. Vance beating Gavin Newsom by a couple points, and that's a morning consult poll. So, there is an interesting play that I was thinking about here that's possible. It's possible that Trump's going to do unpopular things and then let J.D. Vance be the popular one, to say that keep on the messaging that's popular amongst the base, and that way he can play into 2028. I don't know. That's a long-term play. That's something I've thought about. Go ahead, Opinions. You got your hand up. You can go ahead whenever.
No, I didn't have my hand up. I don't know why it shows that it's up.
Oh, okay. Well, no worries. The space doesn't really work for me. Yesterday, I had to restart it 3 or 4 times, guys. So if you guys are trying to join the show, just request to come up here. You guys are welcome to do so. You're welcome to come up here and talk. You're come up here and make comments, whatever you want to do. I do try to read all the comments throughout the show. Thank you guys for being here today. So again, I don't know what the intention is here, but this is ridiculous that there's yet another person coming out, and that's even worse. That is a far worse statement than the previous one. So I don't know what the idea is, but it's not going to work out well for them. And no matter how they play this, it doesn't make any sense at all. Okay, so let's move on to the affordable tax credit stuff, or the Obamacare stuff, because I want to go over this because Burchett was in here talking about Obamacare and how much of a disaster it is. But before we do that, we'll play Jeffries talking about this because Jeffries had a comment on the affordable tax credits, and he's talking about how he wants to vote on this. He's trying to get people to defect to vote on this right away. The affordable tax stuff, the Obamacare stuff, this isn't going to fix any problem. It's not going to fix any problem at all. That's the crazy thing about this. It's not going to fix anything at all. It's not going to go anywhere. It's never going to be. This is never going to be a functional system. But they keep trying to figure out, like, let's just extend it by 3 years. You need to just solve the problem. You can't just keep doing this. So here's Jeffries on this.
We have a discharge petition. I believe it has north of 200 signatures on it. All we need is 3 or 4 Republicans to join us. And if they did so, we can discharge a bill that would extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits for 3 years. Everyday Americans, working class Americans, and middle class Americans deserve the same level of certainty that Republicans decided to provide to their billionaire donors when they enacted these massive tax breaks and then had the nerve to make those massive tax breaks permanent. But can't be bothered to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits.
Yeah, well, we don't want to extend the Affordable Care tax credits because you lunatics lied to everybody about how much it was all going to cost. That's why no one wants it. Okay, like that's why we don't want it in there, because you lunatics are the ones that caused all this problem in the first place. Like I love this is, by the way, and I made sure to mention this. I'm going to keep mentioning this, that the Democrats and the left-wing media, if you notice, they're referring to it as the ACA now. They're not calling it Obamacare anymore because they realized that it was them that caused this problem in the first place, so they can't call it Obamacare anymore. So they only refer to it as the Affordable Care Act. Like guys, it's Obamacare. That's where it came from. It's the left-wing plan that made things so unaffordable. Yet again, another comment here where everyone talks about the affordability issue. The Democrats are what made everything unaffordable. They're the ones who caused it. They're the ones who caused all these problems. Okay, so let's listen to Burchett here because he had a pretty good statement on this as well.
Talks about money changers. Man, we got to throw the money changers out of the dadgum temple because that's exactly all they are. They just hold the dadgum cash. I mean, it's just a flow through, and it's like the mob. I mean, the Lord only takes 10% with tithe. These guys, they're multi-million-dollar profits paying these CEOs. And I hate to sound like a liberal, but they are paying their CEOs millions of dollars, and it's based on their profits. So obviously, the more they steal from you and me, dadgummit, the more they get make money.
With what Obamacare has done is they have told the insurance companies that you got a blank check and we're going to subsidize everything. And the insurance companies raise their premiums and the subsidies go up. That system is it's completely backwards from a capitalist society that demands transparency and demands competition.
Yeah, and it reminds me of the lottery in Tennessee, everywhere else. I didn't vote for it. I'm not for gambling. I said, if you want to gamble, play the dadgum stock market. But the out of pocket is the exact same amount, if you account for inflation, as it was before we did the lottery. All they did was raise everything up. They took more of the money. It's the same principle with insurance. The more we give them, the more and they'll take more. We give them $1, they take $1.25.
Yep. I mean, this is exactly right. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I hate to cut you off there, but this is something hilarious that just happened. So you remember that Jasmine Crockett said Jeffrey Epstein donated to Lee Zeldin?
Yes.
So the Jeffrey Epstein that she was talking about was just on Hannity, and he said that he has given money to Jasmine Crockett.
No way. Oh, my God. How is she this stupid? How? Like, is it really possible? Like, she has no idea. My goodness.
Wait, say that again?
Oh, man. Do you have the clip? Did you clip it?
I just sent it to you.
Oh, my God. Yes. Okay, hold on a second here, people. This is a breaking news. Jasmine Crockett has apparently outdone herself yet again. Oh, my goodness, dude. No way. Okay, hold on a second here. Let's pull this up. I can't wait to watch this. Okay, so he's a neurosurgeon. Very interesting. Okay, so let's play this here. So this is apparently the Jeffrey Epstein. Now, for those who don't know what we're talking about here, so the other day when Jasmine Crockett, she came to the floor and she started ranting and raving about how people had taken money from Jeffrey Epstein, and she listed Lee Zeldin, she listed John McCain, she listed the NRCC. She said, "Oh yeah, all these people took money from Jeffrey Epstein. So what, are we going to talk about them? We're going to talk about them too." And it wasn't even the same Jeffrey Epstein. It was a different guy, completely different guy, unrelated, not even really. Now we have to be fair here. That dude is very unfortunate that he has the same name, and I'm very surprised that he hasn't figured out a way to change that. But anyway, despite that, it is a different person. And multiple of people called her out immediately. Lee Zeldin called her out immediately. Meghan McCain called her out immediately. But this is amazing if this guy actually is giving money to her campaign. Like, I can't wait to listen to this. Let's play this here.
I don't know at this point if I should feel sorry for you. I'm sure you're proud of your family name. How do you feel getting mixed up in that mess?
It's been a week of a disaster, if you might say. I was very happy with my name. I've had it longer than he has. Obviously, I'm still here and he's not. But to be implicated or even the insinuation that I am the pedophile, it was really pretty awful what she did. And she clearly, when she did her word scramble backpedaling on CNN the other night, those were just blatant lies. It's ridiculous.
Would you take legal action against her?
I had considered it, but of course, with the law, you cannot, because the comments were made in the Senate floor, so you can't sue based on the constitutional law.
What about what she said on CNN? We're given a chance to get it right.
She certainly didn't get it right. If anything, she lied even further because she never once said Jeffrey Epstein. She said Jeffrey Epstein. Clearly, she implied that Lee Zeldin, amongst others, had taken money from the pedophile. But let the record show that if you look in the filings, you also see that Jasmine Crockett took money from Jeffrey Epstein.
I always feel sorry. I mean, I chose this life that I...
Hannity, listen, Hannity is so bad about that. Like, that should have been like, wait a minute here. Like, everyone heard it, right? Everyone heard this. Let the record reflect that Jasmine Crockett has also taken money from Jeffrey Epstein.
How does he skip right over that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Listen, Hannity, I can't do a Hannity, dude. I really can't. I can't stand the guy. He's way too old school media. I mean, dude, you just, like, that guy, look at his face. He's laughing his ass off. Like, that's hysterical. Let the record reflect. Yeah, Jasmine Crockett has also taken money from Jeffrey Epstein. This guy's losing. I mean, I can't imagine what his response was when he saw this woman do that. And he was like, you stupid woman, I've donated to you. Like, oh, man, dude. Oh, man, I love it.
How does Hannity just let that go, Walter? I don't understand it.
Hannity is, look, I don't know, okay? I can't stand Hannity. The other day when I was trying to play a clip of Hannity, okay? And he was going back and forth on two completely different topics, okay? And he asked a question of one of his guests. His guest answered the question on the one topic, and he followed it up with the question about the second one and said, well, how does that play into this? And the guy was like, huh? It's not related, but... they attempted to like shoehorn it in there. It was horrible. Guys, I understand Hannity's been around forever. Hannity, buddy, you're terrible. Like, I can't watch your show. And the one thing I'll say about Hannity is he's one of these people that, like, he asks a 4.5 minute long question to get a 15-second answer. Like, that's his whole show. And I can't stand it. Like, it drives me nuts. But that was just atrocious. How did you skip over the fact that he just said that? I mean, you should have been like, wait, what? You donated to her campaign? And they look at his face. Like, are you even watching this guy? Like, come on, Hannity. What are you doing, Sean? Oh, my goodness, man. That's hysterical, Jacktron. Good catch. That is amazing. And this woman is an idiot. I don't even know what to say. Like, that's just so funny. I mean, I'm going to have to watch him say this again because that was beautiful there. So let's play this one more time here.
She lied even further because she never once said Jeffrey Epstein. She said Jeffrey Epstein. Clearly, she implied that Lee Zeldin, amongst others, had taken money from the pedophile. But let the record show that if you look in the filings, you also see that Jasmine Crockett took money from Jeffrey Epstein.
I always feel so...
And Sean just completely misses the moment. What an idiot. Okay, well, I want that guy, someone get a hold of Dr. Jeffrey Epstein. I'd love to have him come on the show so he can talk about how funny that is. Like, I mean, that's just amazing. What a hysterical moment.
I'm on it.
Yeah, there you go. If you see if you can get a hold of him, I'd love to talk to him. Just, how dumb. I agree with him, though. He said, I thought about legal action, but she can't. So, she did say it on the floor, and that's unfortunate. She has complete immunity on anything she says on the floor. But she obviously had no clue. I love that what did she say? She said, I Googled it. I had my team use Google. No, you didn't. Okay, you can't even do that. Like, you can't Google FEC filings. You have to go into the records and then pull them. So you had one of your team go into the filings, search Jeffrey Epstein for a whole bunch of people, and just run a quick search. They probably used ChatGPT. That's probably what really happened. They probably used a deep search on ChatGPT and searched it up and then found that, and that's probably how that went. I would almost bet anything that's how this went. So amazing stuff from Jasmine Crockett here. Just incredible. What a dipshit. I mean, just wow. That's my favorite thing that's happened today. Actually, that's got to be the funniest thing of the day so far. And it's been a very funny day with Mamdani getting schooled by Trump. A bunch of people out here, by the way, that were sitting there like, oh, Trump was nice to Mamdani. Like, guys, did you not see the same interview I did? He didn't even let him sit down. He treated him like a dog. He made him stand next to him like a puppy. Like, man, what a day. What an interesting day. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on here then. That was amazing. I forgot where I was going to go because I got so distracted by that. What was I going to talk about next, Jack? I don't even remember. You distracted me with a very funny clip.
Obamacare.
Oh, yes, Obamacare. So we were talking about Obamacare with Burchett going on to this. So Burchett was talking about how the fact that they essentially have made it so that Obamacare, they're trying to bring the credits back up again. So that you can vote on them again. I mean, the Obamacare is what caused these problems in the first place. And it did it by essentially the government now works directly with a third of our entire economy, essentially, in healthcare, now runs directly through the government. It's a huge problem. It's a huge problem. I mean, we should go back to making it so that it is not the way it works. And there's a number of ways you could actually fix that, by the way. And the comments I've made a couple times on Obamacare specifically is that if you really wanted to fix the problem, one of the ways you could attempt to fix the problem is if you took the lifestyle choices out of the pre-existing conditions. Okay, so that means that if you are fat and you eat 8,000 Oreos and your foot falls off, your health care is not subsidized by my tax dollars, which I don't think it should be. If you eat a bunch of Oreos and your foot falls off, that's your damn problem. You shouldn't have eaten 1,000 Oreos. Okay, but these are the problems. Okay, if you go look at the numbers on the pre-existing conditions for these stuff, like this, the pre-existing conditions for people that have congenital heart defects, they have lung conditions, they got cerebral palsy. I think it's like 20% of the people that actually have affordable, that have the access to it. 20% of those people are non-lifestyle choices. So if you removed the 80% from the ability to get this insurance for cheap because of the affordable tax credits, like if you got rid of that, yeah, I think it might be affordable. I don't know. I mean, is it really that? Do we really need to subsidize people's poor life choices? I mean, if you smoke 6 packs of cigarettes a day, should you be on a pre-existing condition list? That seems like that's your fault. That's not my fault. You shouldn't have smoked 6 packs of cigarettes a day. These are the problems that exist within the healthcare system, but no one wants to talk about that idea. We just want to extend the tax credits somehow. We just want to, just keep pushing it down the road. That's fine because that's worked out so well for us so far. It hasn't done anything. You go look at the way that healthcare is in this country. It has only gone up in price and down in coverage. So at some point, we're going to have to address this problem. We're going to have to fix it at some point. And it's amazing that we refuse to deal with it. I don't know why we're not dealing with it, but we really need to. So at some point, we're going to have to make the hard decision to do so. And I guess it's because now everyone sees it as an entitlement, and you can't. People think you can't touch entitlements. I'm not sure if that's true. I think you need to sell it better if you're trying to get people to understand why you should get rid of them. I mean, in the same thing with the SNAP stuff. SNAP was something that everyone kind of saw as, you can't touch it, right? Oh, my goodness, everyone can't touch SNAP. Well, then you find out that a bunch of illegal immigrants are on it, and then people are buying, cheese wheels. They're buying all sorts of crazy things on Amazon. Apparently, you can have your SNAP benefits sent by Amazon Prime to your door. That shouldn't happen. Okay, if you have a SNAP benefit, you know what SNAP benefits should be? And I said this the other day. SNAP benefits, what it really should be is every member of your family gets an MRE for every day of the week. And that's how it works. So, for a month, you get 30 MREs for each member of your family so you get 90 MREs per person. And that's how it works. That's it. And they only come in one flavor, chicken. And it's chicken or not chicken. And they both taste like chicken. Like, that's what it should be. That's how it should operate. You shouldn't get something special for it. You should have the same amount of food that allows you to sustain your life so that you don't die. It's so that it's also not comfortable for you. I mean, I saw videos, and there was a bunch of people that were posting these videos. There's a new account that showed up. It was like EBT of TikTok, which I thought was hysterical. That was a great account that showed up immediately following the SNAP stuff. But if you go look at these people, they're like having to freeze food because my SNAP benefits, I'm going to have to freeze my leftovers. Like, what? What do you mean? You just threw your leftovers out? Is that what I'm hearing then? So you didn't care about your food so much before that you just threw all your leftovers out because your SNAP benefits were so beneficial to you that you could just do whatever you wanted. Is that what I'm understanding? That's what was happening? That's not... Most Americans, you put their leftovers in the fridge and eat their leftovers the next day. Like if I cook a lot of food, that'll be my food for 3 or 4 days. That's how it works, isn't it? Apparently not. Not if you're on SNAP benefits. You just throw that shit in the trash. What? I mean, that's the things that you can fix, okay? And that's why, and by the way, they haven't really talked about it and it hasn't been brought up a bunch, but they are going to go and reform the SNAP benefits, by the way. So that's a new thing. So they're going to actually go back and they're going to make everybody reapply for SNAP benefits, which is good. And that's an unintended consequence of the Democrats shutting down the government for so long because people started paying attention to SNAP and no one was paying attention to SNAP before. The idea that we need to pay for people to have bad food that's not good for them and way too much of it to the point that they can do whatever they want with it is crazy. And the same problem is going to end up in being in the Obamacare stuff. When you actually start looking into this and you actually start looking at the numbers on it, do you think Americans on a broad spectrum of the country are going to say, I am willing to subsidize the health care of people who don't take care of themselves at all and make poor life choices for their entire lives so that they have bad health? Why am I subsidizing that? That's your fault. You did that. We need to get back to the point where it's personal responsibility for all this stuff. I mean, if you have a congenital heart defect and what if you're born, say you're born with like a heart on the opposite side of your body, which is a condition. Like, so if your heart's not in the center of your body, it's like on the opposite side of your body. I actually have a friend of mine like this and he's had 4 open heart surgeries and he's not even, he's like my age. He's like 34. Okay. He's had 4 open heart surgeries. That's somebody that their health, there's nothing he can do about that. He was born like that. It sucks. There's nothing you can do about that. That person, I've got no problem saying that their health care should probably be there should be some form of help for people like that. I've got no problem with that. But if you are, you have smoked 85 packs of cigarettes a day for your whole life, you eat nothing but candy, all you do is sit around all day and you take 0% of it, like interest in actually improving your life or making your health good. Why am I subsidizing your life? Why am I subsidizing your health care? Why am I subsidizing your food? Your decisions are not my problem. And they shouldn't be. But we've decided that is everybody's problem. And that's why healthcare costs so much, because 70% of the people on it have a pre-existing condition that's directly related to their own choices. So until we fix this stuff, the affordable the Obamacare is not going to be in any way affordable ever. Okay, it's not going to be affordable. It's not going to work. It's not going to help anybody. It's only going to get more and more expensive. So we're going to have to address it at some point. But the Obamacare needs to be made sure that we pin it back on the Democrats because they're the ones that created this problem in the first place. How they have in any way, it amazes me that the Democrats are above the water for approval on healthcare of all things because they're the ones that caused the problem in the healthcare. I mean, you can go look directly and see how much money it's cost. This is ignoring the fact that healthcare in this country. One of the worst things about Obamacare is that what it's done to small business. Small businesses now have to provide healthcare for their employees, and it's a huge percentage of their budget. I mean, just one example of this, a small business now with like 30 or 40 employees, like 4 or 5% of their entire budget is now based on healthcare for their employees. Okay? That didn't used to exist. It didn't used to be 5% of their budget. And it's the same reason that Burchett was just talking about in the clip that we played a minute ago. That's that the insurance companies raise their premiums and then the subsidies have to go with it. So everything raises and they keep raising their prices and they keep reducing their coverage and they don't care because it's a self-licking ice cream cone and they get all the money anyway. So at some point, we're going to have to fix this problem. And if it doesn't have broad support in the country yet, then that's because we haven't had strong enough messaging to fix it. So we really need to address this problem. Hopefully we do at some point here soon. Okay, guys, if you guys would like to join the show, if you want to come up and request, you're welcome to do so. This is, I've got about 30 or so, 40 minutes left in the show. You guys are welcome to come up here and join the show. Just request, go to x.com, go to @WCDispatch, and you can join the show. You can bring any comments you want. You can say anything you'd like. I do read all of the comments throughout the show, and on all the different streams. I try to pay attention to it, so you guys are welcome to make comments down below. You're welcome to comment in the stream, and I will try and keep track of everything. Go ahead.
I just sent you Jeffrey Epstein's office number.
Oh, man. I got to talk to Dr. Epstein. Dr. Epstein, I'd like to make an appointment. I have a very serious neuro problem. I want to know how stupid Jasmine Crockett is. I know it's a very serious medical condition. I need to have this conversation with a very renowned neurosurgeon. There's only one person that can answer these questions, Mr. Epstein, and that would be you. Dr. Epstein, I need to make an appointment. So I'm going to have to make an appointment with Dr. Epstein, see if he can get on this show. How funny would that be? I'm going to lose it if I manage to get this guy to show up here. I think he might, just based on his reaction there. That would be very funny.
Yeah, and it looks like Megyn Kelly is going to be on with Erica Kirk.
When is that?
That is going to be tomorrow, 7:30.
And that's with Megyn Kelly's tour?
Yeah.
That's cool.
So that's going to be kind of interesting to see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually looking forward to that. So, I mean, listen, I like all of these tours that they've been doing. I think they've been good. Okay, like I like that people are going out and talking, and they're having these events, and I think they've all been pretty solid so far. I don't really see a problem with it. So, anybody that wants to complain about some of the stuff that they're doing, I don't really have any issue with it, to be honest with you. Apparently, some people are having issues being kicked out of the space. I don't know why, but I don't know how to fix that. So, if you guys are trying to, what's up?
Well, one of the clips I sent you is the TPUSA kind of going through some of the things that people have been saying online about them. If we want to play that clip.
Yeah, I do want to say that. Did you actually list that much TPUSA? Because I see that in here.
Sure did.
Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and play this because there is a bunch of stuff about this that really does bother me. So we can talk about some of the stuff here. Okay, looks like we got opinions back here.
Before we do that, it's you saw this post from E.L. Jacoby. The planes that Candy is saying about Utah. Some of them have never even left Cairo.
Well, I mean, listen. So for Candace Owens, I don't know if you guys have seen this. Okay, so just to briefly touch on this, and we can go through this clip from Turning Point here. But this, I don't know if you guys saw this story that came out today, or was it yesterday? I'm not sure. When apparently the most recent episode that Candace Owens did. So she was talking about some specific law firm, and she was like, in this address, and she names the address like 100 times. Apparently, it was the address to her own lawyer. Like, people, my goodness. I mean, just come on. Like, is it really that stupid? Like, are you really that? And here's what I thought. My immediate reaction to that, and here, I'll give you my take on this specifically. What that told me was that what Candace Owens does is that she gets anonymous tips from random people and then just runs with it. Just 100%. Doesn't do anything about it, doesn't look into it at all. She just takes it and runs with it 100%. Like, oh yeah, that must be it. That sounds believable. I'm going to run with that. I'm going to put it on my show with 20 million listeners. Like, what? Oh no. I mean, what has she backtracked on that yet, by the way? Has she gone back on that? Has she tried to explain why the law firm that is her own law firm is not that? I mean, I really would love to hear that. I mean, that has to be the best spin from Candace Owens in terms of ridiculousness yet. So what has she said on this? Has anyone seen anything on this yet?
I do not see yet, but I just know that the planes that she has been. Hold on.
Well, okay, I understand that
hold on, wait. It looks like she's been. This is from Milk Bar. Apparently, she has been pranked on air by a tip. This is from yesterday.
That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about here. The prank on air by a tip. That's what I'm talking about. This is she literally read out a address, and she's like, this address at 1920 King Street, something. It's the address to her own lawyer. Like, it's her own law firm. Her own lawyer works there. That's who that address is. That's why it's hysterical. And she's like, yeah, this address, what is this strange law firm? And she reads the whole email. And whoever it was, like, obviously did it as a troll because it's like, it's next to an FBI building. It is near the CIA. There is at least 18 FBI agents that work in this building, and they all work and run around Turning Point, and no one knows their names. It's the most ridiculous email ever. It's so stupid. And she read the whole thing out, and then it turns out that the law firm that was on there is actually her own lawyer. I mean, guys, this is hysterical. Like, how stupid are you? I mean, just to keep on track with this, by the way, the previous thing that she did with the Egyptian airplane things, Bricksuit called her out on that, said, you got the frickin' time zone wrong. Okay, you didn't even get it close to right. You were off by 6 hours. And then she immediately goes on air and says, Bricksuit, this account that doesn't exist, Bricksuit's one of the most famous people on the internet. Like, what are you talking about? Everyone knows who Bricksuit is. Like, are you stupid? And she said it multiple times. He doesn't exist. This account that doesn't exist. Like, yeah, it does. What are you talking about? There's Jack Posobiec just had a video of him with Jack Posobiec yesterday. Like, oh no, he doesn't exist. He's not a person. Huh?
It's like the people that get caught with the names, like Captain Something Wong of the plane that crashed, the Asiatic aircraft. None
Yes,
of that.
that's right.
It's
Something wrong.
basically that bad. That's how pathetic she is at this point.
I mean, Sid, like here, let me go to Brick Suit, and I'll just play this clip that I was talking about because before we go to this from the Turning Point people, because I'm sure Brick Suit posted this. I think he posted it the next day when he said that she claimed that he doesn't exist, that he's not a person. So let me see if I can find this real quick because this was very funny. Let's see here. Where is it? I know it's a couple days ago now. But it's just amazing. Like, how are you going to try and say that Brick Suit is just not a person? Like, oh, he's just an account that doesn't exist. Like, what are you, like, he's been at every Trump rally. The guy wears a actual brick suit. Like, I mean, everyone knows who this guy is. But, he doesn't exist. And this is the idea that you can just say whatever you want. And because your platform's so much larger, most people aren't going to say anything and they're not going to be able to find this guy or know who he is. That's the way that she can get away. But so here it is. I found it, by the way. So this is Brick Suit. According to Candace, I was an account that didn't even exist when I pointed out that she was off by 6 hours on the departure time of an Egyptian Air Force Falcon, a 7-passenger jet leaving Provo, Utah. So this is the post, and this is what Candace said here.
A perfect example on October 11th when I infamously tweeted about the Egyptian military plane that left Provo on the morning of Charlie Kirk's assassination. I got the time zone wrong by a couple of hours, and they completely overreacted. I mean, an account that didn't even exist wrote, "Oh, the time zone is wrong." Next thing you know, it was trending, and they pretended it had been officially debunked just because the departure time was wrong.
She's so disingenuous, dude. This is what I was talking about earlier about the disingenuous behavior. Oh, it's fine. It doesn't matter. I was completely wrong.
This tweet that she put out just 2 hours ago. It says, already receiving a ton of emails about my throwaway comment on today's episode regarding noticing a lot of male attendees at the Charlie Kirk assassination wearing a maroon shirts, despite it not signifying UVU colors. I had no idea that the color was associated with elite airborne operations. Encouraging everyone to further hone in on the males wearing maroon on that day.
Oh, my God.
Who still listens to this crap?
Dude,
Sadly,
it's
a lot of people.
Listen, a lot of people listen to this woman, and I'll tell you why. Because she is the full-on embodiment of, I'm going to say whatever the hell I want, and I'm going to say it convincingly, and people might believe me. Apparently, that's what we're doing now. That's the only thing you need to do. And I've been talking about this for a couple months now. We live in a new world, okay? Political pop culture. That's what this is. It's political pop culture. It's not real commentating. It's not real journalism. It's none of that. It's quite literally just pop culture. And it is designed so that you talk about things and you come up with random comments and random gossip and you just talk about it however you want and no one cares. But I mean, she's sitting here saying that somebody that we all know doesn't exist. And then she comes out here today, and this is the comment, by the way, this is the other comment that she was talking about. And I'll pull this up here. This is the video that came out today where she's talking about this address. And I'm sure it's up here at the top somewhere, where she's saying that this address. Yeah, no, I just looked at it a second ago, so I'm sure it's sitting right here somewhere. So give me just a second. I'll be able to pull it up and play it. Where are you? Here we go. So this is Candace Owens appears to have been pranked on air by a tip. In yesterday's episode, Candace read out an email from someone claiming to have an inside knowledge about why her Egyptian plane landed in Delaware. So here you go.
And I'm going to read around some parts, removing some parts to provide this individual, who, by the way, I have no idea who this is, but to give him and her even some more coverage. They're taking a tremendous risk, so I'm just going to read this to you guys. Candace, I'm aware that you suspect the government and other entities are involved in the events leading up to and on September 10th. You might have been wondering why SUBTT made so many visits to Wilmington, Delaware, out of all places, and I can personally answer that. The information I am giving you will implicate the FBI and various other government agencies all at the same time. I am entirely confident in stating that the plane and those vehicles are connected to 920 North King Street, which is at a place that is marketed also as 1 Rodney Square. And here's where it gets big. In June of 1997, the Department of Justice's own directory lists, quote, Wilmington Residence Office, 1 Rodney Square, Suite 404, 920 King Street, Wilmington, Delaware, 19801. That is your line to know that it is a federal resident office, 920 North King Street. And at the same address, the United States Secret Service, 920 North King Street, Wilmington, Delaware, 19801. It's the building that Snowden leaked. Find one that makes it look brown and then compare it to 920 North King Street in Wilmington. It looks exactly like a mini version of the thing. Back to 920 North King Street. 920 North King Street. That 920 North King Street is also the FBI. Federal SUVs move from that airport to 920 North King Street. 920 North King Street has been a federal residence office since at least 1997, and today it houses the DEA, the FBI, and the United States Secret Service, all at the same address. Wilmington is undeniably a terminal point, and the only logical reason points to 920 North King Street. I read this, checked it, verified it.
And here you go. For those watching the stream here, this is the
1 Rodney Square, 920 King Street, Wilmington, Delaware, 19801.
So, if you guys are just listening, what just happened on the screen is whoever clipped this together, they then go to Marcon's lawsuit that they filed against Candace, go down to the bottom of it, and then they pulled the address from Candace Owens' lawyer, and it is 1 Rodney Square, 920 North King Street, Wilmington, Delaware, 19801. So she just completely bullshitted everything she just said. This is the stupidest thing in the world to me. This is what I'm talking about. She said, "Oh, I just verified everything. I double checked everything. I looked at all of it. I really verified." You didn't do shit.
Walter, was the lawyer's office like panicking? Idiot! You're talking about our office.
Listen. It's the dumbest. Like, this is what I'm talking about, though. This is, you know what happened here, okay? I'll tell you what happened. Someone sent her an anonymous email. She said, "Ooh, that looks good. Yeah, that looks real good. I like that. I'm going to use that." Okay, put it on the air. Like, what the fuck? You didn't do anything. You didn't even look. You didn't even sort of check. I mean, just, why do people take you seriously? How? How does anybody listen to you? I mean, just, I've had this happen with her multiple times now, and it's just like she just comes up with shit out of nowhere and says it, and I couldn't figure out where, like, what is she, just this super creative? No, she's not super creative. People send her anonymous crap, and she just runs with it. She doesn't look into it at all. I mean,
somebody has to do the thing with the names to her. They have to do the thing with the names.
Oh, that'll be hysterical. Something Wong.
I could try to do it.
That's a good idea. Send her Something Wong. Something Wong from Something Wong is going to send her an anonymous email. At this point, it's probably going to happen. How does she explain her way out of these things? Like, does she have any response to this? Or is she just completely ignoring that this is just the biggest load of crap and just assumes that no one's going to go look? Is that really what's going to happen here? She's going to assume no one's going to go look, because that's probably what she's going to do. I mean, this is why yesterday someone came in here and they were talking about Nick Fuentes, and they were saying, well, you know, what about Candace Owens, Nick Fuentes? I said, Nick Fuentes and Candace Owens are two completely different scenarios, okay? Nick Fuentes is actually an intelligent guy that's trying to build something and do something very unique and very different. That's what Nick Fuentes is doing, okay? Whether you agree with him or not, the guy's not stupid, okay? Like, he knows what he's doing. He's doing something very different and very, this is completely outside of the box politically is what he's doing. What Candace Owens is doing is saying, I'm going to read an anonymous email, check nothing, put it on the air, and then just go, oh, yeah, the FBI, the DEA, the Secret Service, the Egyptian Air Force, all of them work out of 920 Rodney Square, North King Street. Oh, wait a minute, that's my alert. Oh, my God.
In the same suite, Walter.
That's right. They work in the same room, same building. Wait a minute here. Did we just find out that Candace Owens works for the Secret Service and the FBI and the DEA? Holy shit, everybody, she's the deep state. I'm going to start telling people that. Why not? I don't have to do anything. I mean, apparently I can just watch things and get random tips from people and just put it on the air and fuck it. I mean, just that's it. That we're going to do it. We're going to roll with that. Candace Owens is a actual Mossad agent, and her attorney works for Mossad. And we just found out the address of that attorney that works for Mossad. Now, this building is well known to, Catherine L. Maury and Richard Leighton Finger, PA. Those people are all Mossad agents. Candace Owens, a plant. Okay, and that's what we're going to run with now. I guess that you can just say things. It just doesn't matter, apparently. You can just say whatever you want. None of that matters. You just say whatever the hell you want, and this is just how we do things, and no one has to check. You don't have to verify anything. Just, it's so ridiculous to me. Wait, someone said that Candace said Bridget assassinated Charlie? Like, holy crap. The thing that annoyed me the other day, though, was when Ben Shapiro went on her own Megyn Kelly show and she said, Candace Owens is essentially saying that, Turning Point assassinated Charlie and that Erica Kirk was involved. And then everybody was like, no, she didn't. I'm like, I hate you. Okay, I just hate you. If you don't go watch what she says and you think you can just get away with that, but if you actually go pay attention to someone, like what I do is I go watch and I don't just do the clips, okay? Because I have an AI that goes and and transcribes things for me, so I can just pull the entire show whenever I want. Okay, so all I have to do is go say, hey, was this insinuated? Yes. Every freaking time there's somebody like, oh, did she really say that? Like, no, she didn't actually. She never specifically says it. Like, she is always very careful legally to keep herself out of trouble. Okay, she's very smart about that part. But outside of that, everything else is just insinuation. It's always like, oh, we're going to ask questions. Like, oh, my God, I hate you so much. But this right here is just hysterical. I mean, just...
Well, now, Walter, you're going to have people that just listen to her show, like kind of like Media Matters does to the right, just to like find out. They're going to go through everything she says now with a fine-tooth comb.
I mean, listen, people already are.
Blast her out in real time.
People already are doing that, but the problem is she just doesn't seem to care. Like, she just does it. She does whatever the hell she wants. And this is what I was talking about a couple of weeks ago. It's like, we have a new diversified media. Okay, we have a diversified media. The mainstream media doesn't have the ability to control the narrative anymore. That's true. But then what you have as a result of that is you have people that have giant platforms that just don't care what they say, and they just put random shit out there and act like it's journalism. What did she say there? She said it like 6 times. 920 Rodney Square, North King Street. I verified all of this on my own. I looked into it so thoroughly. You didn't look at all. That's the problem. Like, you didn't even check. Like, you didn't even, like, it's your own attorney's address. That's just, man. Wow.
Obviously, she's never been to the office.
Probably not. She probably hasn't been to the office. That's the truth. Like, I guarantee she probably didn't know the address of her attorney. Like, but the thing is that you didn't check. Like, you didn't even look. That's the problem. Like, you told everybody, I verified everything. I verified all of it. I looked all into this, and you didn't look at all. That's the problem. So she got completely pranked by somebody, and this is the predictable result of this. You just say stupid shit all the time and just assume people are not going to look into it. But the internet is full of a whole bunch of sleuths who look into things constantly, and especially someone like Candace Owens who's pissed a bunch of people off. Of course people are going to go look. Like, you can't get away with it. It just makes there's what credibility does this woman have left? She doesn't know how to tell time, apparently. The Egyptian Air Force and the Secret Service are working out of her attorney's office. I mean, it's so dumb. It's so stupid. I just can't deal with the low IQ nature of it is just too much for me, man. Like, I don't know how to deal with anything like this. It's just too much. It's too much. Okay, we got a couple people that that requested to come up on stage. Guys, if you want to join the show, you're welcome to do so. I'd love to hear someone trying to convince me that Candace Owens isn't a moron, but I'm sorry, you're going to be very, very hard pressed to do so. Pepe Le Pew, what's up, buddy?
Don't you mean her former attorney now?
Oh, yeah. He's probably really fired now. That's probably true. I wonder if that's what she's going to say. Like, my attorney tricked me.
I found her tip line, by the way.
And she posts her tip line all over the place, dude. I mean, that's what everyone should do. Start sending her random shit. See if we can get her to read it on. That's a brilliant idea. Okay, listen to me. I'm not joking here. If you come up with an email and you get her to read it on the air, I will give you $500. Okay, whole show, everybody in here today.
Challenge accepted.
If you come up with an email and get her to read it on the show and it's completely outlandish, I will give you $500 today. You heard it right here. $500. $500 reward is open. If you manage to get Candace Owens to read something insane on the air, I will give you $500. Okay?
I'm writing notes right now.
My money's on Jacktron.
Look, I'm not even kidding. Like, guys, I think that this is probably a possibility. Okay. By the way, there's also still an open reward for anybody who ever like I've said it was a while back. We were convinced that Candace Owens had never voted before. Those that don't know this was a few months ago. Right? This is probably in mid March. Someone came up with the idea. It's like, you know what? I bet you she's never voted. And you know what we did? A group of us, a whole team of political operatives, we searched all voting records. We never found any proof of her voter registration in any state ever. Okay? I can't prove it because it's a possibility in Tennessee law, since she's apparently, I think she lives in Tennessee. In Tennessee law, you can remove your name from public record. What now?
She lives in the UK.
But I'm talking about she lived in Tennessee during the time of the elections. That's what I'm talking about. So, but my point is here that in Tennessee, if you are a public official, you can have your name removed from public records. So I never ran with the story, but there's still an open reward if somebody can prove that she's ever voted before, because I don't think she has. I mean, that's just my theory on this, because I just don't think I think she's just complete, doesn't care. She just does whatever he wants. She's just a complete grifter. But this whole story here, yeah. Okay, guys. So everybody listening on this show, $500 reward is open if you manage to send an email anonymously to Candace Owens about some crazy Egyptian Air Force random, just come up with the most outlandish thing you can come up with. It has to be just believable enough. But if you manage to get her to read it on the air, I will give you $500. Like if you manage to,
the more unbelievable it is, it's going to be the more
exactly. It has to be more unbelievable than anything else. Like it has to be like, the Secret Service is also tied in with some Mossad agent or something. Like it has to be outlandish. It has to be completely ridiculous and just completely fabricated. I mean, not an ounce of it can be true. None of it can have any truth to it at all. It has to just be completely nonsense. And if you manage to get her to read it and then try and convince and sell people of it, I will give you $500 just because I want to watch an ad.
I'm not trying to rob you, Walter, from $500. My bad opinion. Go ahead.
Oh no! If somebody throws in a name like a Something Wong
yes.
or a Mike
yeah.
Hunt, I'll throw in 100.
Okay. That's even better. If you manage to get that right on the air, that'll be even funnier. And honestly, if we actually get it to happen, and what if that happens, and then the response from that is, well, I just, I did it intentionally to give one of my followers $500. I'm like, okay, well then you just don't care. That'll be even funnier. To me, please, someone manage to do this. I'm going to lose it if we manage to get that to happen, because it's just so stupid. Every part of that was all fake. Every bit of it. It's your own attorney. But you don't care. You just say whatever you want. You say whatever you want. You think people are just going to believe you because you've got a giant platform and talking heads are smart. Well, one of the problems that happened on regular television, a legacy style television, was that, for years, you could have two talking heads sitting right next to each other. And this is one of the problems with legacy television, okay? You could have two talking heads, and it could be, say it's on something like the price of gold, okay? So on the television, you could have two people. There could be a 40-year expert in gold, and he could be on the television directly next to a 22-year-old idiot who knows nothing about gold. And they can sit there and talk, and you don't know which one to listen to, because the problem is that the stupid young kid can say things that are so dumb that the older guy doesn't even know how to respond to how stupid it is. But because you're both on television, it gives you both the authority figure look. So people don't know who to trust. So they could believe the 20-year-old that knows nothing, or they could believe the 40-year-old, the 40-year veteran in the field. But you don't know because you just stuck them right next to each other and had them debate something. And the guy that's been doing it for 40 years is looking at this guy like, what the hell was that question? That didn't even make any sense. But you don't know that. The audience doesn't know that at all. So this is the problem that you have when you elevate people that shouldn't have any, that should not be paid and made serious. And somehow people believe that Candace Owens has made herself a serious figure. She is a pop culture figure. That's what she is. And that's
I don't waste Walter, 1 second of my time ever listening to Candace Owens. Yes, she's irrelevant.
Listen to me. It's not that she's irrelevant. It's that she just doesn't care what she says. She doesn't. She just says whatever the hell she wants. It doesn't matter to her.
But here's the thing, too, though. This is why I don't like people like her. And we're seeing a bunch of people like this, where they're saying, I'm just asking questions. But, they won't stand on any principle. I'm so tired of people saying that. I don't care about you asking questions. Let's hear what your principle is. Let's hear what your actual statement is. Quit being a coward. And we're seeing a bunch of Candace Owens where I'm just asking questions, and they can't actually be a legitimate, authentic person.
Well, I saw an interesting Trump response. Some reporter says, hey, why don't you just release the files then? If you're saying, oh, let's release them. You could have released them. Why don't you? And he said, you're a terrible person. You're fake news and all. But then he said, I've answered your question. But he didn't answer the question. So it's there's no answer.
There's a lot that goes with the files, though.
In there.
But
as a pedo. Go ahead.
Yeah, but there's a lot that goes with the files, though.
Okay? What are you talking about? So hold on a minute here. Just everything you just said is not. I'm not talking to you, Anna. I'm talking to the guy who was speaking before. What did you just say?
You heard me. So what are you going to do about it?
It's very easy. You just
there's evidence for it.
No, there
There's
isn't. You
evidence
just
all around.
lied
He's
blatantly
a
on my
convicted
show. And
rapist
this
and
is how this
sexual
works,
assaulter. He's
dude. You can't
convicted.
come in
Do
here
you know
and
who
just
Carol
lie.
Jean is?
that was
Do
a
you know who
whole
Carol
Listen,
Jean
buddy.
is?
Listen, buddy.
Do you
You
know
can't.
who?
You're not going to come in my show and lie
Google
directly on
Carol
the
Jean,
stage.
who was convicted Trump.
Get the name right.
In civil
You're
court of
fucking
sexual.
Buddy, you're not going to come on my show and just lie to people. Okay, you're not going to do that. So if you would like to not lie, then you can continue to speak. If not, I'll just throw your moronic ass out of here. Okay, so if you would like to not lie to people, that's fine. But you just lied. So if you do want to unlie, if you want to not lie at all, then you can talk. But outside of that, I'm going to throw you out of here immediately if you keep lying. Okay,
What was the case with Carol Jean?
Do you not understand the difference between civil and criminal?
Hold on a minute. That was a double mute. So he double muted. So what were you saying, dude?
So he was convicted in civil court of culpability of sexual assault, which the judge had later clarified outside that is rape.
Buddy, what the hell does that have to do with
being convicted in civil court?
Buddy, you're a moron, okay? Did you even you're talking about E. Jean Carroll, okay? E. Jean Carroll, the woman that when she came out there, you know what she did? She sat there and said, "I can't wait to go to France and I'm going to buy all sorts of fun stuff with Trump's money." That case is going to get thrown out, by the way. Okay, it's going to get thrown out. That was such a nonsense case. They changed a law so that they could even do that case. They had to change a law to be able to bring that case and prosecute him. She claims that he raped her in a freaking, what was it? Nordstrom. And Nordstrom, like, oh yeah, everyone believed. She couldn't remember what day it was. And then she went on the air and told everybody that rape is sexy. Okay, so this is the person you're claiming is part of this. But what that doesn't have anything to do at all with the Jeffrey Epstein case. It has nothing to do with it. So what the hell what's the insinuation here? I don't understand.
So what do you have to say about a man who says you can grab them by the pussy, they let you do it when
Locker room talk, buddy.
What do you have to say? Okay, got it.
Okay, do you have anything else to say, or are you just going to repeat like MSNBC
you're the man,
to me?
You got me, you own me, you can goo me now because you're so smart and great. Good job. He's a
Wait,
great guy.
so
I'm not going to
He's not a Russian agent. He's not a
guys, like, stop speaking over each other. And listen, I have no problem arguing with you, but you have to bring in like actual something that's interesting. Okay, like I have no problem.
Convicted by a judge of sexual assault.
He is not interesting, buddy.
His sexual assaults.
He was
but that's
found
not
liable
interesting to a pedo lover like you, is it? That's not fun.
Dude, you're not even talking about anything. You haven't said anything yet.
Oh,
Nothing
you're not even
interesting.
saying anything. The president was convicted in civil court of rape, but you're not even saying anything.
Okay, you know we tried. We tried having a leftist up here,
This is
dude.
why you're a loser pedo lover.
Yeah, I don't have any time for you, buddy.
Paperwork is in the pill where it says that he did not, in fact, rape her. You fucking retard. You don't know the difference between.
Listen to me. Okay, look. I don't have any problem with people coming up and wanting to argue but if you're not going to act in good faith and you're just going to lie and quite literally just repeat Democrat talking points, then goodbye. I mean, like, if you want to have a real discussion about how stupid this all was, how the fact that why is it that that they had to change a law to be able to bring it in the first place? If you wanted to actually have that conversation, I would have had the conversation with you. But instead, you started saying pedo lovers, that we love pedophiles, that I love pedophiles somehow, that that Trump is a convicted rapist, which isn't true. In fact, he won a lawsuit against somebody for saying that. So you can claim all you want. Okay, but he sued people for $16 million when someone said that live on the air. So remember that, you fucking idiot. Okay, just like
don't worry.
I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, these are lots of people that are going to do this. And again, I don't have any problem arguing with people, but if you want to say things that are blatantly untrue, that have been proven in court to be untrue, and not only proven in court, then also had people sue over the exact comments that you just made, sorry, buddy, not going to say it here. Okay, we got other people that are coming up here on stage.
Walter.
Yes.
Just before we go any further, I posted my a post to the Nest, and I think you would like it.
I can't. What did you say? Sorry.
No, I'm just saying I posted the Jumbotron our challenge of if you send Candy a tip and she reads it on the air and tries to convince you to believe it, we will give you $500. And
yeah, but listen, you can't post about it, okay? Because one of her people will send it to her, and then she'll be on the lookout for it. You got to make sure it's only live listeners. This is only live listeners because live listeners are the ones that are not going to go posting about it. Okay, you got to make sure that we got to keep it somewhat under wraps because she'll get her followers will all pick it up and immediately run with it. So then again, probably a whole bunch of her random occultist style followers are in here already talking about that. So it may not work anyway.
She
but
so much bullshit that like you can sit there and say this out loud and we can still trick her.
Listen to me. I mean, I don't know. Okay, we got two other people that came up here with their hands up. So what is up? What's his name here? Michael, what's up?
What's up, Walt?
Oh, what up, dude? You're back.
Yeah, man. Well, sort of. I got an alt account.
Yeah, what happened with your main account, dude? By the way, this is Michael Thompson, guys. I don't know if you guys knew who Michael Thompson is. He's a Florida guy, Trump guy. He ran for state legislator down there, and he's in the process of running state legislator for the Senate, right?
Yeah, for the house.
Yeah, that's right,
But
house.
yeah, so I deactivated my account because I was under consideration for a job at the White House, and I kind of like wanted to get off of here, just to quit, running my mouth a little bit and while this thing plays out. So that was on a Friday afternoon. I deactivated my account. I got a few friends that reached out to me on Saturday via text message. And they were like, "Yo, bro, your account's like, nowhere to be found. We've been trying to get in contact with you. Check your DMs." So I logged back in, I checked my DMs, and I went to bed. And I woke up Sunday morning. That was on Saturday. And I woke up on Sunday morning, and my account was permanently suspended. And I was like, wow. I was like, how the fuck did that happen? But apparently it happened. So I've been petitioning them to get it back, but it hasn't happened yet. I reached out to some people I know up in Washington to see if they can get in contact with Elon to figure shit out, but we'll see what happens. But wow, man, I tell you what, it's good to be back in here. Walt's over here just like laying into that dude, man, completely owning him. I've said this once, I'll say it a million freaking times. I'm like kind of like loudmouth guy. I kind of like tell people how it is. There's only one person on the entire planet that I would let speak on my behalf, and he's hosting the show right here. So great job, man. It's good to be back up here. And I did hear that Joe Biden was actually one of the drivers of those SUVs over there in Delaware.
Oh shit! Biden himself, Hunter was out there, man. I didn't even think about that. It was Hunter actually. It was Hunter that flew the planes. Holy shit, we figured it out. It's the Bidens, man. It's always been the Bidens. Damn, man. Michael's all over this. We didn't even think about that. That's it. We've solved it. Hunter Biden.
And that plane also made a pit stop down in Colombia.
Oh man, it had to go Peru. It had to pick up the Peruvian stuff on the way back. Hunter is a very, very, very unique nose. He can't touch any of the stomped on stuff from Colombia. He's got to get that Peruvian. That's the only way it works for him. So but this is. Again, I love that this is even a thing, that we have to even argue about this. We haven't even to talk about this fact that this Candace Owens, I don't care what she does, okay? And, the people that want to say to her, oh, she's above reproach, she's just looking for the truth. How stupid are you? My God. I don't even know. There's somebody the other day, I said something, it's like, it's pretty gross to me, the whole Turning Point USA stuff. It really is. It bothers me, the fact that can you imagine being Erica Kirk during all this? That's what really bothers me the most. Erica Kirk just lost her husband. She has now been thrown into a role that is this insane role, this huge organization that she's supposed to be in charge of, she's supposed to be managing. Okay, and then you've got morons out here saying stuff like Egyptian Air Force are flying in on specific planes, and that her own attorney's office is the Secret Service place, and somehow this is all related to Charlie Kirk's assassination. And by the way, 90% of her show now is going to be talking about text messages she had from Charlie Kirk from 10 years ago. I mean, it's just...
Yeah, but she's only asking questions, though.
It's so obnoxious. But, I mean, I just feel bad for Erica because she has to deal with all this crap. And we were going to play this clip.
Not only that, but she's got 2 small kids to look after as well.
Exactly.
That's just stupid. But that's what people will do for attention, because they know that their career's over. They know that they're irrelevant. So what are we going to do? I kind of feel like they're like Democrats, they want to out dumb each other. Hey, no, look how fucking dumb I am. Well, look how dumb I am. I can out dumb you. This is what these people are doing for attention.
Yeah, really it is. Okay, Crow Nation, what's up?
Hey, Walter, how you doing?
I'm doing just fine.
Yeah, did you kick that jackboot off the chat? Because I have a little 411 for that one.
Yeah, I already threw him out of here after he started claiming that we were, that everything that we say is that we're supporting pedophiles and stuff. That's when he got removed. So.
Okay, well, I'll reiterate this for the rest of the class, so that you all don't get the wrong idea. Just to clarify, Reid Hoffman, you all are familiar with that name, I'm sure. He has been mentioned by Trump and Elon Musk several times as being on Epstein Island. Well, he was the underwriter of Eugene Carroll's little suit. He's the one that paid for it.
Yep.
Okay. So don't start talking about Trump being a pedophile. Okay. Because that's where I draw the line.
Yeah,
Especially when it comes to
it's so disingenuous when people are talking about this. Like the Democrats moving the Epstein stuff to claim it's somehow Trump is involved in all this, which is the biggest hoax about all of it is like they for 10 years told us that Trump is a Hitlerian dictator, the ultimate fascist that is going to destroy the planet and rip the Constitution up into shreds. Well, then he left office and then he wasn't president for 4 years. So if he was a Hitlerian authoritarian dictator, why did he leave office? Okay,
Right.
why did he do that? But then we move into this term, and well, you can't keep calling him the dictator forever because he wasn't a dictator and he left office, so that doesn't work anymore. So what do? Well, we're going to call him a pedophile now. That's what they're going to do, and that's what they did forward. It's like, guys, how many lies will you just absorb and just run with it? Like, what are they going to tell you next? Like, what is JD Vance going to be? Is JD Vance going to be double Hitler? Like, I mean, is like what is the deal? Like, I mean, what is JD Vance going to be when he starts running?
And Pepe was on it as well too, and opinions will know this as well that it's a different burden of proof. So for what Trump was found liable for in a very they just voted in a socialist, but he was found liable, not guilty of rape. And this is such an important distinction to make.
I mean, listen, you don't even need to worry about the distinction because the whole thing was nonsense. All you have to do is go watch what Eugene Carroll was doing. Okay, Eugene Carroll. After that, she went on She went to Rachel Maddow's show. Okay, she went on Rachel Maddow's show right afterwards and was like, "We're gonna go to France, and I'm gonna get you a penthouse, and I'm pumped about this. I can't wait to spend all this money." Her attorneys were losing their mind. Okay, they were like, "Oh God, get this woman off the stage!" Like, holy crap.
Eugene Carroll is mentally ill. You can see it. Just take a look at her and listen to her. She's mentally
ill. She sued 17 people.
New York City is mentally ill.
You can be found liable for owning the fucking building that it happened in.
Yeah, I mean, listen to me. There's a number of things that's wrong with this woman, let alone the fact that her cat's name is Vagina. Okay, let's not even. We don't even need to go into this whole ridiculous woman. Like, she's the strangest person ever. She sued 17 people for sexual assault. Okay, she talks about how sexy rape is. This is not a serious person. Okay, no one believes it. Reid Hoffman funded the lawsuit. That's exactly right. All that's true. But anyways, guys, let's play this clip from Turning.
Wait.
Yes.
Walter, I have one thing else to say to you.
Mm-hmm.
You posted a soliloquy of yours earlier today about the reason why the Trump people are so loyal to Trump. And I just want to let you know that is a most inspiring post. I have sent it to many people, including my family. And you have gotten many kudos today for that post. That is the most insightful thing that I have seen in a long time, and I want to thank you for posting that.
Well, that was yesterday's opening monologue for those who were listening to the show yesterday.
Very astute, Walter, and I just wanted to give you a hat tip for that because everybody should listen to that.
Well, I appreciate
Everyone.
that. I thank you guys. Yeah, that was yesterday's opening monologue. So if you guys didn't see that is pinned to my profile currently. It has gotten quite a bit of attention today. But yeah, that was yesterday's opening monologue. That was talking about the Trump moment, and specifically talking about the fact that they don't understand the political class in this country doesn't understand why when Trump says something along the lines of hang them, that everyone's like, yeah, do it. I mean, they don't understand the anger. Okay, and I talked about it a little bit yesterday that people also don't understand the anger that existed around January 6th too. I went into that. I'll probably do another monologue on that at some point because that's a whole nother topic because people really don't understand that. But okay, I want to get into this clip though. So this is a clip. Actually, we've only got a little bit of time. Well, we get enough time to go through this though. So this is a clip from Turning Point, and this is addressing some of the ridiculous claims that have been floating around the internet. So I haven't even watched this yet. So let's check this out.
Great question from Rain, and it's kind of largely about the conspiracy theories, and and I think Blake, you said it well. It's like we have to give space for people to grieve. There is a trial coming up. We understand that sometimes when we don't speak on every topic, it creates a bit of a vacuum, and there is just so you know, there's a reason for some of the silence on certain things and the choosing not to engage in certain things. But I loved Rain's heart, and you could tell that she is grieved just by Charlie not being with us and the anchor that Charlie was in her life, but also the fact that, she wants to carry his mission forward, and she wants everybody to be unified and on the same page. So, Mikey, I don't know if you want to add anything to that.
Yeah, I mean, Andrew, you said it. If there's silence on something, oftentimes people say that it's silent because it's true. No, that's not why. Like, there's so many accusations out there against so many people. Even one of them are like a sermon that my dad gave where he said that I had blood on me. And for the record, like, he gave that sermon. I called my dad moments after everything happened, and I was screaming.
I was listening to that call, and he
Blake
said,
was next to me. I was screaming on the phone. I said Charlie was shot in the neck, and he had blood all over him.
He said,
and I
think he said there was a lot of blood.
And I said, you need to call every pastor and pray for a miracle. And he thought for some reason that I said I had blood on me. So he gives a sermon 72 hours later where he addresses that conspiracy.
Yeah, and he says that
I had blood on me. Okay. I didn't see that sermon. And then about a month later, that was like trending all over social media. And I called my dad and I was like, did you actually say this? And he was like, yeah, I just found out it's not true. So like behind every single one of these are a human being. For an entire month, my dad had to live with nightmares every night that his son actually did have blood all over him.
Didn't you say he got emotional when he found out?
He got emotional when I was on the phone with him being like, that's not true. Why did you say that?
No, he was so glad to hear it wasn't true.
Yeah, like not everything is some grand scheme. And just because someone's not answering all of your questions when you want them to answer your questions does not mean it's
I want to close the loop on this.
I have one more thing.
I think, but there's a lot of people are deeply affected by this.
Yeah.
And for some people, the temptation of something very emotionally upsetting is they want to, frankly, sometimes there's a temptation to lash out. And I would remember that, I would encourage you to remember, all of us love Charlie. All of us care deeply about Charlie. It is fundamentally, I'll just say it is fundamentally outrageous and insane to say that any of us would have wanted Charlie dead or wanted anything bad to happen to him. And when we get emails where people just say, you killed Charlie, or like, you're lying about everything, I would strongly encourage those people to reflect on what is motivating them to do these things.
Yeah. I want to also say, there is a point where it's deeply frustrating that somebody like Mikey would have to even dignify some of this story that you'd have to even dignify that with a response. I mean, it's so insane. But by the way, I love that Rain is wearing she was talking about her bracelet from the memorial. Yeah. And it was funny because just this morning I saw a bunch of We Are Charlie Kirk bracelets on Mikey's desk. I was like, I want one of these. I never wear these kind of bracelets. Not really my thing, but I'll wear it for Charlie. So I thought that was great.
Okay. So just addressing it, the biggest comment in that, obviously, is it's fundamentally outrageous that anybody would accuse Turning Point of this, and that is just true. Okay, and this is what I've gotten really annoyed watching people act as if they're not insinuating that Turning Point had something to do with it, like Erica Kirk had something to do with it. I've gotten very annoyed watching that because you're lying, you're just coming up with it, and it's gross. Okay, you should be ashamed of yourself. Is the only comment I have to say. And these people that actually said we're just asking questions. No, you're not. Shut the hell up. You're not. Okay? You're doing it for clicks, and I hope it's worth it. That's the only thing I have to say to you. I hope it's worth it. You disgusting shitbags. Okay. So let's go here. Jacktron, or let's see. We've got a couple people that have their hands up. So go ahead, Jacktron. No Jacktron? Okay, go ahead, Anon.
Yeah, no, so exactly what you're saying is I just get so annoyed about the people that are saying oh, we're just asking questions. No, you know what you're doing. You're being disingenuous. You're being facetious. And you're trying to make a point because you can't stand on principle. And then I guess I'll close out on what I'm going to say on this is that the America First crowd, they're clowns. They're not even America First. They're
listen to me. The America First crowd are not even the people doing this. Okay. That's actually not by the way, I'm not even joking. I think Link Fuentes had an episode called Candace Owens Needs to Get 5150'd. So They know he knows it's just as stupid as everybody else does. So like that's the difference.
Yeah.
The people that are talking about this is like it's not just Candace. Okay, there's a number of people doing this, and they're out there talking about it, and they've got a video where they got a ballistics expert, and they've got all these people out here. It's like you haven't seen shit. Okay, you haven't seen anything of the evidence. You haven't seen any of the evidence. You don't know anything. Shut up. Okay, just stop doing it. Stop doing it. It's not funny. It's not cute. It's not adorable. Whatever you're doing, it is gross. And the people that actually have a brain out here find you disgustingly revolting. Like, I mean, I'm revolted by these people. Like, very, very revolted by these people. Michael, go ahead.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I know the show's probably going to be wrapping up here soon. Maybe not. Maybe we can keep it going. But I wanted, and you guys probably already talked about this, but I wanted to get your thoughts on Marjorie Trader Brown.
Oh, Marjorie, did you see that she is now resigning from Congress?
Yes, I saw that a few hours ago on January the 5th. And I was actually with someone from Washington, and we were having dinner down here in Florida. And I pulled it up, and I was like, holy shit. I go, Thomas Massey just reposted this from Marjorie Trader Brown. And they were like, no way. And I was like, yeah, man. So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, and to me, it looks like she's obviously going to try and do something. This is a unique move by her, resigning like that. And the resigning like that, like so quickly, tells me that she's positioning herself to do something else. But I do find it hysterical that she's trying to come out here and tell everybody, oh my goodness, I have always fought strongly for the American people and done all this. Like, baby, sweetheart, you've got $24 million, okay? Like, why don't you calm down? All right, you walked in there with $700,000, you walked out with $24 million, you hit the jackpot, you blew on with the wind. Shut the fuck up, okay? I mean, just oh my goodness, woman, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not going to sit here and pretend as if you're some sort of above reproach congresswoman. You're just like every other politician that has ever existed. You're just like them. You're blowing with the fucking wind, and you're going to fly on the wind again, and you're going to lose, and I don't care. So I'm not a huge fan of this woman. I never have been. I've always thought she was fake as shit. Go ahead, Michael.
All they do is basically extract, from the system, from the party, for their own selfish gain. I can only imagine, what her political future looks like, because she's going to, pull the Democrat card and play the victim here. And she does have quite a bit of support in Georgia. The question is how much support is she going to have moving forward? But I wouldn't be surprised if you actually see her run for some type of state office.
Maybe. I don't know. She might run for, I've heard people say that she might run for governor. I've heard people say that she might run for president. I don't know. But here's the problem with Marjorie Taylor Greene is that she has built her entire platform off of Trump. Okay. She is one of these people. And this is what I don't like about her. And this is what really annoys me about her. She built all of her platform based on Trump. Okay, she's one of these people that's what her whole platform is. It is Trump. It is Trump. That is what it is. That's where she came from. That's why she became popular. That's why she became known. That's why everyone knows who she is, because she was one of these people that was super pro-Trump. Okay, and that was rare when she was first in office. Okay, she ran on a pro-Trump platform based on everything that she's ever said. She has been 100% MAGA, MAGA, MAGA. She put on the hat. She did everything. She did all this stuff, pro-MAGA, and now it's not working out for her, and she's just going to blow with the wind and walk away from it. I don't think that works for her politically. I think her political career is fucking over because she created her entire platform based on one guy, and now she threw that guy out the window, and that guy's not going to let her do shit. That's what I think is going to happen.
Oh, I don't know. I think she's been with a lot of guys.
Well,
hey, $24 million will buy you a lot of vacations, bro.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, the point is here. The point is here that to me, I don't see her any different than any other politician I've ever seen. She used whatever she could to get into office, and she's not special. Okay, Marjorie, sweetheart, you're not special. You're like every other politician I've seen my whole life. Snakes till the end. Okay, I mean there are very few politicians that I've ever met that I don't think are snakes. It's one of the reasons I didn't want to go into politics when I was younger. I walked away from the entire D.C. scene. I was supposed to essentially been a D.C. circuit lawyer. That's what I was going to end up being at some point. But I walked away from all of it because I didn't like it. I thought it was poisonous. It is poisonous. It is a swamp. It is disgusting. What people do, the lies people tell, they just do whatever the hell they want. Okay. And you don't understand, like, if you haven't been to the private parties, if you haven't seen the backroom deals, if you don't know what it works at the top end of politics, you would maybe think that some of these people are good people. Most of them aren't. Okay, most of them are shitbags. Most of them are all liars, and they'll say one thing and do another. They'll take your money, and then they won't do anything with it. Okay, and they'll take your money just for the election, and they may not call you again until they're back up for re-election. They won't do anything that you needed or asked for. Okay, that's who these people are. Most of them. The majority of Congress is like that. There are very few examples that are not like that. I've met some of them that are good people. Okay, but most of these people, once they get in there, they get into the swamp consumes them, they get it brought into the special interest, they start taking the lobbying money, they start taking the stock trades, and, someone tell me that Marjorie Taylor Greene didn't do that, okay? She walked in there nearly broke, and she walked out with a whole boatload of money, okay? So, let's not pretend as if she's some sort of special magical politician that's above everything. No, she's not. No, she is not. Okay, Jeff, you got your hand up. What's up?
You just brought up a very important point about all of these people, MTG and Candace Owen. They sit there and they talk about all the problems. They bring up all the problems. And then they create division. In the process of creating division, they don't have any solutions every time they come up in the public eye. They're just looking for clicks and points. And I want to hear somebody that has the solutions, not somebody that constantly talks about the problems. And that's what I see, Walter.
Well, and listen, commentators have a big problem in the world because, and the majority of them don't want it. They just want to, you have to fill the airtime, right? So instead of talking about solutions, people just complain a lot. I don't really like the complaining concept. Now, I understand that sometimes there's just nothing else to talk about. So you got to come up with some sort of controversy. Monday on here, I was talking about how we needed to build the American empire, that I believe that we need to open up American expansionism and invade Greenland and Mexico because I was bored. Okay. I mean, sometimes you just got to fill the airtime, guys. And that's part of the problem, especially you got people that have these giant platforms that there's not a whole lot to talk about. They're just come up with nonsense and they just fill it up anyway. But it would be much better if people would talk about the things that actually do matter, like the redistricting thing. That's super important. Okay, if we could actually get people to focus on that, the Virginia redistricting plan, they're going to try and take 4 seats out of the House for the Democrats in Virginia. Okay, so we should probably try and stop that referendum from going forward. That would be very important if we could actually do that. Okay, and I'm going to work with John Fredericks. I'm going to work with whoever I can, trying to actually get that stopped. And apparently John Reed, who's the lieutenant governor candidate of Virginia, I'm going to talk to him here soon. He's trying to do the same sort of thing. So I'm trying to work with the people that are actually trying to fix things and do things because, everyone wants to think that just because we won the presidential election, that our enemy, which is the left, is asleep. They're not sleeping, baby. Okay, they ain't. They are awake and they are in the game, and we are not. And that's the problem I have. All these people are fighting with each other. Like, oh my God, did you see what they said? I don't care what they said. What is the left doing? They want to kill us. Let's stop them first. My God, what the hell is the matter with you people? It's just amazing to me. Like, let's not allow the people that actually want you and your children to die to be in charge. Okay, let's not have that happen. Let's prevent that. Then we can go back and fighting with each other. After we won the war, then we can go back and fight, have to deal with these people. But the argument that I need to worry about, what Nick Fuentes said yesterday online, he really upset me. Shut up. God, you're a bitch. It's amazing to me. And I can't deal with these people. Like, I don't care what people say about other people. I don't care that you don't like what they say. None of that stuff matters, guys. The communists in this country, they don't mistake anything. The left is communist now. Yeah, that's what they want. They want full, true communism. That is their platform. Yeah, that's the people that are winning elections are communists. So it's amazing to me that we have to even have this argument. But everyone got distracted. We won the election. Everyone's like, well, we need to worry about, very niche policy issues. And we're all going to fight about it. And we're all going to divide over it. And we're all going to act as if it's all over. Yeah, it's a brilliant idea. Let the left take back over because they were doing a brilliant job before. Because they won't open the borders back up and let all this stuff that Joe Biden was doing right back in instantaneously. You guys notice they haven't changed a single one of their positions yet? Have you guys not figured this out yet? They haven't moderated yet. The left hasn't moderated at all. They've gone further into it. They're even more radical than they were when Kamala ran for election. So what are you doing? Like, take your pick, okay? Do you want...
Who's Nick Fuentes and what has he accomplished?
Nick Fuentes is a sect of the right, okay? He's a fringe element on the right that is growing rapidly amongst the young people, okay? And the reason he's growing rapidly is because he's pointing out things and saying things aren't getting done, is what his comment is. And he's not wrong. That's the problem. That's the reason he's growing. That's why people are paying attention to him. That's why he's growing rapidly, because he's not wrong. He's not wrong because the things that he's saying are true, even though if some of the stuff he's saying are not true, some of it is. And it resonates with people because if you tell people things are bad, they aren't fixing them, and they don't care about you, you can play into outrage and get people to pay attention to you. Okay? Because there are a lot of, and this is what my comment was the other day, people are furious in this country. Do not think that they aren't. If you don't think that they aren't, that there are not a large amount of really angry people in this country, You're not paying attention. You don't know where it's at. You don't know you're not talking to the people that are actually mad. You don't know these towns where they're full of people that are pissed at their government because they think their government hates them and has been ignoring them for 30 to 40 years. Okay, there's a whole group of people out here. And now all those people that were mad, they've got kids and their kids are even more mad. So, people need to pay attention to the stuff that's going on around here. And this is you can't ignore what's happening in the country because you don't like what people are saying. And this is why I get very annoyed at the people that yell about, oh my God, what did he say? Like, you're so stupid. Go talk to them, okay? If you want to figure out how to actually, who do you have more in common with? The people that are saying all of the problems in this country are caused by the left and they've destroyed this country and we need to destroy the country to fix it, or the people on the right or the people on the left that just say, no, I am a communist and I want to be a communist and I want you to be a communist, and if you don't, I want you to die. Make your fucking choice, people. Jesus. I mean, it's amazing. You can't see the difference. There's one side that even if you don't like what they have to say, they'll still talk to you. Like, they still will. They'll still have a conversation with you. Even if you don't like them, even if you guys disagree on a whole bunch of stuff, they will still speak with you. They will still have a conversation with you.
We just had a demonstration on here about what the kind of rhetoric the left likes to do.
That's exactly right. I mean, the kind of the rhetoric that these people, their comment and what they believe is that we are Nazis and pedophile supporters, apparently. That's what they believe about us. Okay, so who are you going to talk to? You're going to talk to the people that they say upsetting things about things that you shouldn't talk about and things that positions you shouldn't hold. You shouldn't talk about this stuff. It's very annoying that we can't let them speak. We can't give them platforms. Stop saying that people don't deserve platforms. Stop saying that you can't talk to these people, because these people exist and you can pretend that they don't. And that's just going to make them mad. I mean, like, you're not solving the problem, and you're ignoring the problem that there is a large percentage of the left that is perfectly okay with political violence to a degree that you don't even, how have we not figured this out yet? That's what's amazing. How have we not figured this out yet? The left, they assassinate Charlie Kirk and then they cheer in the streets about it for weeks. They cheer. They had their their radicals online. All of them started going out and telling everybody, "Yay, he's dead!" And they're wearing outfits about it with blood all coming out of it, wearing the freedom shirts. Like, who do you think your enemy is? Who? Pay attention. Who is the enemy here? There's one side that actually wants you and your family to die, and they're happy if you do die. They will dance on the graves of your family. They will dance on your grave and cheer in the streets if something happens to you. And the other side is they're saying shit you don't like. Figure it out, people. I mean, it's really that simple for me, and I don't understand how it's that difficult for everybody else. It makes no sense.
You know what, Walter? So you're 100% right. I mean, these people are absolutely kamikazes, with a cause. Doesn't matter if they're flying airplanes or not. It's a totally different battlefield nowadays. But I'm going to tell you what, these people are extremely mentally challenged, and they live right around your corner. You may not know them, but I promise you they are living amongst us, right? So I live down here in Southwest Florida in Fort Myers, one of the most conservative parts of the most conservative state, in my opinion. When Charlie Kirk was murdered, we had, I think it was 3 school teachers that came out, with ha ha ha, he got what he deserved, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so they got suspended, and now they're uncovering that there was a lot more teachers that are going to be suspended as well. Not only do they live amongst us, but they're teaching our children.
That's right. I mean, that's right. I mean, this is the point. Like, I mean, you guys, if you don't think that the communists are in this country are an actual threat, you don't realize the slow walk that they did through the institutions, how much institutional power they have. They control every college. Okay, every college is like this. They just pump this stuff out. The education departments, they've got the social emotional learning that exists throughout the country. We've got real problems here, people. If Trump had won this time, this country would not have really, I shudder to think what would have happened, okay? I really do. I mean, it really does. I know everyone likes to act as if, everything's fine now that Trump won. No, it ain't, guys. I mean, we won one battle. We got to win the war. Okay, we're fighting against a group of people that actually want the full communist takeover of this country. That's what they want. They want to full on go into it, and they are ruthless about it. And we're not fighting that same war with some of us aren't, at least. I mean, I am, but some people aren't. Some people are still living in this world where they just disagree with us a little bit. No, they don't. They hate you. They want you to die. And they would be happy if you did. And so people don't understand that, though. They still think we're living in, 1995, where everyone just kind of disagrees a little bit. That ain't true. Ain't true at all.
Hey,
Walter, this kind of circles back to what you and Trash were talking about a month ago about how they've been changing our language, what words mean. You had a technical name for that. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a dialect problem. This is something a lot of people don't understand. This is something a lot of people.
Ideological subversion you're thinking of.
No. That's not what I meant. Okay, so we have a
Yeah.
dialect problem in this country. Okay, so the inner urban cities and the rural rest of the country don't speak the same English. They don't. Words don't mean the same thing to them. Okay, so if you have a complete subversive culture, so one version of our culture has a religious background to it, still has a Christianity background to it, and the other version of our culture is an atheistic, godless culture that is based on paganism and lies. Okay, the words don't mean the same thing to them. They mean completely different things. You can say the same sentence to somebody and mean two completely different things because we actually live in a dialectically separated culture. That is something that is true. I mean, and you can read about this and you can go look into this. Go read Specialist, Controlling Words, Controlling Minds. It's Michael Knowles' book. It's a really good book on this sort of on this topic. And it's accurate because words don't mean the same thing that they used to. The word fascism doesn't mean the same thing that it used to. They have completely subverted what words mean. And they've done that intentionally so that they can start to use them against their political opponents. And people don't understand it. So when you're having a conversation with somebody and you think you're having the same conversation, you're not. That's why people get so angry. That's why people get so mad. They want to, attack you and go after you because they don't think you're saying the same thing as them and that you actually aren't because you're speaking two completely different versions of English. That's just how it works now. Okay, Adam, you came up here. What's up?
What's up, Walter?
What's up,
Hope
brother?
everything's going well, man. It's kind of crazy that you think about it. They have no moral ground, period. Like, let alone high ground at all. They debanked people, depersoned people, deplatformed people, put people on blacklists if they spoke up against the shots. Like, you couldn't get a job on LinkedIn, you had a blacklist there. And it's just insanity what they did to us. Like you said, they want to kill us, right? And that's true. They essentially did. Uh, and then on top of that, they want to talk about pedophile protector. Excuse me, wasn't Tim Walz the guy that was trying to push a bill for MAPs, minor attracted person? Who's protecting pedos exactly? Who the hell are you talking to, people? You have no moral ground. You sterilize and mutilate children, which is a heinous crime, and you belong in prison for life for, doctors and all, parents and all. You have no moral ground, period, to talk to us and say that we are pedophile protectors when we support the president that has done the most against human trafficking, child trafficking, with his executive orders, with his actions, with his administration. They have no ground. They have no moral ground at all, Walter, and it's ridiculous. It's flat on its face BS.
Adam, I have a good question for you.
Hold on a
You
minute.
did Tim Walz.
Hold on a minute here, guys. You can't cut into this show. I understand that people treat this as a space. You have to remember this is a show that is broadcast on multiple different platforms. So if you go over top of it, no one can hear anything. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Now, I want to say something to what Adam was just talking about. I need to respond briefly to that, is because the moral high ground is irrelevant to them. Okay, you need to understand that Marxists, to them, hypocrisy is a feature of their ideology. It is not a bug. It is a good thing to them. They don't care. Okay, they don't care that this is the reason that they can run people when you run. So if you have a candidate that is a gay black candidate on the Republican side, they don't care. They'll immediately use racism against them. Okay, they'll use racism against them because it doesn't matter to them. They don't care about the candidate. It doesn't mean anything to them at all. Okay, they'll call them every racial slur you can think of. They'll call them every homosexual slur you can ever think of. It doesn't mean anything to them. The words don't matter. The hyperbole, any of that stuff is irrelevant to them. They don't care. The only thing that matters is winning. The only thing that matters is the power at the end of it. They don't care how they have to achieve it. And that doesn't mean if they have to lie, that is irrelevant to them. They can lie. They don't have to care. Hypocrisy is irrelevant to them. They don't care if they've said something a week ago and have to completely flip on it. It means nothing to them. Okay? So long as they win, that's all that matters. So just keep that in mind when you're fighting against this stuff. Okay. Kyle,
Walter. Real quick.
Okay.
I got a funny story for you. I called Papa John's. Speaking of pizzas, right? I called Papa John's Pizza because they put something on my pizza that I didn't ask for. I omitted, and the call centers overseas nowadays, and I'm getting these people like from India and like different areas. And I'm like, I'm trying to call the store, the manager's not picking up, and I got to deal with you people overseas in some call center, and the lady calls me racist, and I'm like, excuse me, what?
I love it.
Because I said they're in a call center overseas. So I'm like, I called back, let me speak to your supervisor. I know you're in a call center. He's like, all right, hooked me up with his Indian supervisor. And I spoke to him, and
Oh my
man, it's
goodness.
just hilarious.
I mean, listen, the call center stuff is the most annoying thing anymore. But there's one thing I hate more than call centers. It's the robot that you get. Push more for more options. Just explain to me what exactly you wanted. Like, I scream at every single one of those things. Person, let me talk to a person right now, you useless machine. And I know half the people in this room have done the same thing. I do it every freaking time I talk to one of those things. I don't give a damn. No, I'm not pushing any buttons. I'm not telling you anything else. Give me a damn person and do it right now. Like, I just yell at the phone until it finally does it. It usually takes about 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, Kyle Smiley, get your hand up. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was wondering if you'd seen that FBI Director Kash Patel came out saying that Thomas Crooks acted alone in the assassination attempt.
Yeah, I saw it. Okay, like I hate this whole thing with the FBI is very annoying to me. Drives me nuts. I mean, I hate the FBI so much. I've always hated them, and it annoys me greatly that we have two people that are in there that I like. But they're strangleheld by the actual apparatus itself. I mean, what can they say? If the FBI does an investigation and then this is the conclusion of the investigation, they have to go with the conclusion of the FBI of the investigation because they're the ones that own they're in that apparatus. They can't just come out and say, well, we don't think we agree with it. They have to go with what their conclusion came from. So it's unfortunate, and I don't believe it at all. Okay, I don't buy it even remotely. I'm sorry, guys. I don't buy it. I think it's a load of crap. I mean, just the idea that a young guy managed to get in any position even remotely close to being able to assassinate the president, and then you scrub the whole scene afterwards and then burn the body within 10 days. Sorry, don't buy it. Never going to buy it. You're going to have to come up with another explanation, and I'm going to keep yelling about it until you do. Don't give a shit. I mean, it's just not going to work for me. Okay, we've got to close down. I'm 30 minutes over on the show this evening.
All right, Walter, just one thing.
Yep, go ahead.
It's so I just found out that the reason that Marjorie Trader Brown is not resigning tomorrow is because on January 3rd she'll be eligible for her congressional pension.
Oh, of course she will. Wow. What a surprise. I'm not surprised. Okay, whatever. So again, Marjorie Trader Brown, whatever her name, this woman is she's just like every other politician. That's the only thing I have to say on her, really. She's just like every other politician that has ever existed. She was in it for herself. She got what she wanted out of it, and now she's going to go blow with the wind into something else and think she can move it into another political future. And I doubt she's going to have one, and I hope she doesn't, because I don't like grifters, okay? And she has been a grifter the whole fucking time, and I've said it from the beginning. Okay, guys.
Walter, is she forming a red-green alliance?
No, she is forming a green-only alliance. Who pays me the most? That's who she's forming with. Okay, that's all she gives a shit about. That's all she's ever cared about, and I've actually said that for a very long time. So, guys, I will see you guys on. See here, this is Friday night, so we will be back Monday night for more of the Political Theater. I'm Walter Kurt. Thank you guys for showing up on this show this evening. If you'd like to support this show, go to my profile. You can subscribe on my profile on X, or you can go to WCDispatch.com and you can subscribe there as well. I appreciate everyone who supports this show. Make sure you guys follow everyone up here on my stage. I've got a bunch of great speakers this evening, and this show is always available on Spotify and Apple, and you can always watch the replay right here on X. There is the live version of it. The Spotify version is edited a little bit, so it has a little bit better quality to it, has higher video quality, everything else. So, guys, I will see you guys on Monday night. I might have a weekend show at some point, but I don't know. I had a weekend show last week, so if I have one, it'll probably be Sunday afternoon if I do. So, guys, I will see you guys on Monday, and thank you guys for being here. This is the Political Theater. I'll see you guys next time.
Some folks are born with a liberty spark. Their hearts beat red, white, and blue. When the anchors sneer and the cameras bark, they turn the lens right back at you. Truth bound, ain't for sale, ain't for sale. We're not the party line sons, no, we ain't for sale, ain't for sale. We're the vigilant ones, so Some folks inherit silk-lined halls, spend our sweat while preaching share. But when the tax man wraps his knuckles raw, their mansions suddenly look bare, impaired. Ain't for sale, ain't for sale. We're not their banker-raised hares, no. Ain't for sale, ain't for sale. We're the vigilant ones, so... Yeah, some paint stars on press room lies and send the common men to toil. Ask them, how much truth will you trade tonight? They mutter, more noise, more noise, more noise. Ain't for sale, ain't for sale. Not the theater's pawns, friend. It ain't for sale, ain't for sale. We're America's steadfast one. No, we won't be spun.